This is a HeadGum podcast.
Guys, I think I need to get a website.
Oh yeah, you don't have a website?
I mean,
yeah. Why don't you have a website?
I mean, it's like I like to be like off the grid. You know what I'm saying? I like to be like.
No, you don't.
No,
you have a Twitter and an Instagram.
Yeah, that's. You don't know my life.
No, I do know that part of your life that you're not off the grid. You host a podcast.
Yeah, it's very public. You're very much on the grid.
What you need to do is go to squarespace.com right now.
Okay, I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna type it in.
Yeah, and I have a Squarespace website, and it's like super easy to use tools.
I just typed it in at Squarespace.
Yeah.
.com right
Do you see how easy it is that you can literally just sign up real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, let me do it right now.
I've said it before. Like sometimes I'm so confused at how easy it is that like I have to like.
You have to call.
I have to call them.
Oh, well, luckily they have 24/7 support.
Yeah, they have 24/7 support. So like I've literally called at like any.
And you talk about why is it so easy to use?
Well, literally, why is it so easy?
I mean, this is insane, guys. I'm on the website right now, and it's like these templates are so nice.
Yeah, you're on your phone, and you're like,
I'm doing it from my phone.
You're doing it from your phone.
Easy to very sleek designs. They got nice mobile websites.
Great
as well.
mobile websites.
You don't have to do an additional HTML code for that. It literally happens automatically.
And a thing that I realized recently was that you can like see what it looks like on different platforms.
Yeah, I mean,
like
literally,
as you're building it, you can check.
I'm getting a free domain right now. I'm getting my free domain.
Oh yeah, you get a free domain if you sign up for a year.
GerardTheGreatest.com.
Okay, but GerardTheGreatest.com. Go back.
What? GerardTheGreatest.com.
It can't help you if you pick a terrible domain name, but
yeah.
What it can help you with is just setting up, like, if you wanted to sell stuff on there, simple.
Yeah.
Real easy.
What, they have commerce tools?
What's that?
Oh, they got commerce tools.
Yeah, man. Commerce tools, baby.
Mm-hmm. And also, you can make all the changes yourself. You don't need to pay some like web designer.
Yeah, but here's my thing. Talking about money.
But
what if I don't have a lot of money?
I mean, well, you can start your free trial today at squarespace.com and enter our code JUMP,
right?
And you get 10% off your first purchase.
10% off your first purchase.
That's amazing.
It only starts at like $8 a month anyway.
Yeah, so you should just do it.
It's a freaking like less than another. I always don't know if I'm allowed to say other companies.
Yeah.
Well, you probably shouldn't. But when you think about it, though, you know what I mean. If you're thinking about your website as it relates to other websites, I think you can like set your website apart. I'm saying.
Wow.
Hey James, you just stole Squarespace's slogan.
Because the slogan is Squarespace, set your website apart.
You didn't come
No,
up
really,
with
because
that
I was just saying that, like, I know, I was just thinking, like, if you had a website, you're setting your website apart from other websites.
James,
I just thought
Squarespace's slogan is set your website apart.
No, I really don't think. Is that really what it is?
It is. There's
set your website apart.
Set your website apart.
Wow.
You just knew. You didn't even have your phone out.
I don't have my phone at all. I don't have it.
Squarespace. Set your website apart.
Jonathan Braylock, James III, Jerah Milligan.
What more can I say? You know what it is.
Black men can jump.
In Hollywood.
Black actors, man. Black actors. All right.
Welcome to Black Man Can't Jump in Hollywood.
Welcome.
Hey man,
you are late and you didn't start the show properly.
Hey, man,
we know what to do. I say welcome to Black Man Can't Jump in Hollywood.
We don't need to
you
start.
say
No,
Hollywood City.
No, don't do this.
James does brat brat.
Don't do this.
You're already starting bad.
Don't do this. We don't.
What you moving a stool for?
I wanted something to put my drink on. I wanted the drink to be equal.
my God.
I wanted the
We don't
drink to
need
be
this,
equal
guys.
level to where I was.
You guys.
Just
start
for
again.
no.
Wait, say it again. Do it again. Do it again. I'm ready.
I'm not doing it again.
Hope, do it again.
Can we do this
Do it
again?
again. Okay, I'm ready.
We're gonna do this again.
Jonathan Braylock, James III, Jerah Milligan.
What more can I say? You know what it is.
Black men can jump.
In Hollywood.
Black actors, man. Black actors. All right.
Welcome to Black Man Can't Jump in Hollywood.
Hey man, y'all.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
What?
We just did the
Okay,
whole
all
song
right.
again.
We don't need
you
to-
made
wait,
everybody
okay.
listen to the
Wait,
whole
no.
song again.
Wait, I thought-
and you still weren't ready.
We don't need to
Well,
fight.
James put his water, and I was like, "Is the water gonna be too high on the?"
This,
All right.
You act like
Okay.
the intro's 3 seconds long.
All right,
It
wait.
took 30.
Okay,
No.
okay, I promise. This time I'm
know.
ready. Third time.
Oh
Third
my
time. Let's
God.
do it.
Okay, all right,
Let's do it.
just one more time.
One more time.
You know what it is.
Jonathan Braylock, James III, Jerah Milligan.
What more can I
in Hollywood.
Black actors, man. Black actors. All right.
Welcome to Black Man Can't Jump in Hollywood.
We're in Hollywood for real this time. Hollywood.
Black.
Wow. That is the literal definition of anticlimactic.
I mean, well, listen. I mean, we
We haven't even introduced our guests.
This
have a
show
lovely
is
guest
fucking
here.
out of control. I am not. You guys are fucking.
No,
we
we're
were over there.
focused.
Hold up. We were over there talking like normal human beings. And this fucking podcast started, and God, all right, I got to speed up. All right.
We got a guest, y'all.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh, wait.
For those of you who don't know,
Hold on, wait.
my name is Jonathan Braylock.
I'm James III.
Jerah Milligan.
This is Black Man Can't Jump in Hollywood. We are a podcast. We review movies.
Now,
with-
no, hold up. Let's be clear.
What?
It's called Black Man Can't Jump in Hollywood, and you are currently doing a show.
We're currently
in
doing a
Hollywood.
show
Hollywood.
in Hollywood.
I haven't
Don't
jumped since I've
typically
been
do that.
Yeah, we're not allowed to
I
jump
haven't
here.
jumped since I've been in this place, man. It's real.
Solidarity.
Just need to be clear because
Yeah, it's real.
the name of the podcast is funny. Black Man Can't Jump in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. It's
Right.
not because we're in Hollywood.
Right.
Yeah, but we happen
yeah.
to be in Hollywood.
You just got to
right
be
now.
clear about the podcast.
Yeah, that's true. I'm glad you're here to
So,
give that further explanation.
All right.
wait. Before you do the intro, man, I got to do the drums, man.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Wait, I was explaining what the podcast was.
Oh, my fault.
This is what I'm here for, by the way. I'm the steer of the ship, as you could probably already tell.
Wait,
I'm the
first
one in
off,
the group who
We
has
don't
the
need
ideas.
that. We don't need that.
First off, I wouldn't say steer the ship. I'd be like, if I was driving and I got lost, I'd be like, hey, John, where we at?
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be like, oh, make this left because you would have a map and James would be in the back seat.
Why am I in the back seat?
I mean, because you're
That's
not in
true.
the front seat.
That's true. James
That's
would be
what-
in the back.
You
seat.
ain't in the front seat.
That's okay. See, there's too much anger and just pushback that's happening. We're trying to start a show,
Yeah.
and we're trying to begin something.
Wow. This podcast is like listening to three brothers argue about movies, and it's just, I love it.
That's great. Yeah, we review films with leading black actors, and then we talk about it in the context of race. That's all it is. We have a guest.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Okay, hold on.
I hope this doesn't take 3 times.
Wait, man,
like
wait, the
last
drums
one.
are going to be good. The drums are going to be good. Wait,
All right.
wait.
Shaun Diston.
All right. Yeah.
Sean, how about them drums, though?
That was a pretty good drum roll.
Right? Right?
No,
No, it wasn't at all.
No,
He
it
was.
wasn't.
He's lying through his teeth.
Wait, hold on. Audience, what about the drums, though? People like drums, right? Oh, no one like... Thank
Wow,
you,
nice
brother.
and quiet.
It's just
All right,
very
guys.
clear,
You heard his drum roll. How about this? Tell me which one's better.
Hey, this is not a competition about
I mean, that one is way better. It's just
There you go.
First off,
It's way better.
First off, did y'all have to clap? No one asked for applause.
Yes.
No one asked for applause
You're
for
right.
drums.
No one asks for applause. Sometimes that just comes when
It
it's
just
so good.
warranted. It just warranted an applause.
Shit.
I see how this is going.
We haven't even talked about the film. We are reviewing the film Undercover Brother.
Yes.
Yup.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Starring Eddie Griffin and
Well, Eddie Griffin.
Eddie Griffin.
and
the
others.
black dude
And
from
then,
Boston Legal. The black dude from Boston. Boston
McBride.
Public.
Shy-
Boston Public.
Shy
Right,
McBride.
right.
Wait,
the black dude from Boston.
Is that how you say his name? Wait, is that how you say his name, though? Shy McBride?
black dude.
Okay, his name, he has a name.
He's the principal.
You know,
Okay,
if you
yes.
would be quiet, people are actually saying the name
Oh,
of
what
the
is it?
audience.
Shy McBride. Thank you. Okay.
He also
died?
passed away.
Yes.
Oh my God! Rest in peace.
Also, Dave
the
Chappelle.
late great Dave
Oh, yeah,
Chappelle
Dave
as
Chappelle.
well.
And the biggest star in the movie, though, Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris,
It was-
Chris Kattan,
Chris Kattan.
Denise Richards.
Denise Richards.
Yeah.
I will say that the casting in this movie really makes the movie, I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
wait.
so too.
Like, there's so many parts that are really dumb, but because it's certain, like, man, Chris Kattan's part. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, we'll get to it. How many people have seen Undercover Brother? Just by a round of applause.
Oh yeah.
great.
There
Yes.
you go.
Okay, yeah.
This was
That's
what
right.
I was thinking the whole time. I was like, who saw this in theaters? Who, like,
I
was
worked-
like, yo,
I
Undercover
worked-
Brothers
I
coming out. I
worked-
can't wait.
I worked at a movie theater when this came out. 2002.
And so you saw it
I saw it in
multiple
theaters
times?
multiple times.
I saw this in theaters as well.
But it's such a movie that you see on TV now, and you're like, oh, yeah, this movie is made to be on Comedy Central in the afternoon. But, like, somebody went to a theater, parked their car, got snacks, and then sat and watched Undercover. I just think it's
Undercover Brother.
interesting.
I
Like,
mean, you had to. It was a movie called Undercover Brother.
Listen,
okay?
I've done
He's
that
fighting the man.
That's true.
He's got an afro. Okay, he has sister girl with a gun.
That's true.
Well, I gotta see that movie.
I will.
Okay, wait. Since that's what we're talking about, my first time seeing this movie was this morning.
Okay.
Okay. First impressions. Here we go.
James.
No, wait, hold on. Here's the thing. I was watching the movie and I was mad at myself for not having seen it. Because it was amazing.
Okay.
No, like, I was laughing out loud the whole time through the end. I finished watching it in headphones in an Uber.
When you watched it in the Uber?
Yes, in an Uber. And my girlfriend sitting next to me. I have headphones on.
Did she have headphones?
The Uber. She wasn't. I was watching.
Wow.
You didn't even let her.
That's rude, bro.
Well,
Oh,
no,
my goodness.
wait. There's a reason for it though. Because
All
she
right.
was like on the phone or something. Like when we got there was a
Okay.
reason for it. But I'm here in my thing, just laughing out loud. The driver's like, "What's happened?" Like it was great.
So
Well-
you let your girlfriend watch the movie with you.
But that was the other thing is we were gonna watch it together, but she was like, "I got stuff."
Let me ask you this,
Okay.
James. Your impression. So the plot of this movie, the basic conceit of the movie is really funny. Like it's
Yes.
already funny.
Yeah.
It's that there's this group called the Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood.
That's kind of like. Look, here's what
And it's an acronym too.
and it's an acronym, but I was like,
Wait,
what
you
does
know
it
what
even
it is?
mean?
Oh wait, does it?
we know what
I'm
it
trying.
is?
I'm trying to look
Trying
it up
to pull
right
it
now.
up.
I'm trying to
Oh,
look it up right
it
now.
does exist.
It does exist. I'm trying to pull it
Okay.
up right now.
But my observation while rewatching this movie, because I've watched it a bunch of times and I've never looked at it analytically, but I figured out what the movie was trying to do.
Yeah.
It was trying to be like a Black Austin Powers.
exactly. Yeah. 100%.
100%. Because
what this movie
because I looked at the dates and I was like, okay, this came out after Austin Powers.
Yeah.
There's so many attempts at catchphrases. There's so many attempts at ooh, this will be like this Austin Power moment, and I just think it's
Well, the thing
not
is,
successful. In that.
because the problem is he was fighting the man. Okay,
Right.
And you can have a successful movie if the bad guy is the man.
Well,
Yeah, the man.
okay,
the man stopped this
The
movie.
man didn't want the movie to succeed because the movie was like 20 mil was the budget, made 42 mil.
All right.
Okay,
That's
so it didn't do. I mean, it made his profit back.
Yeah, that's
okay.
all right.
You know what I'm saying? So the man kept it down.
Well, there's
bruh.
so many.
What were your first thoughts of the movies when you saw it?
When I saw, oh god, when I saw this movie the first time, okay, y'all, we about to experience things.
I don't know why it's getting deep.
Well, I
We're talking
remember,
about a movie.
I remember Denise Richards from my youth. Okay,
Oh, okay. I see where
so I
it's
remember
going.
when Denise Richards was in this movie. I was like, "Oh man, this movie with Wild Things, Denise Richards." And I remember seeing it in theaters and being like, "Oh, this movie is so fun and funny." But I also remember thinking, because I didn't know what exploitation was at the time, so I was like,
Right.
"Oh man, it's doing something." I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Right.
And I felt like, "Oh, this is really, really great," but I couldn't tell whether or not it was going to succeed. So I felt very confused after watching it. I was like, "Oh, this is great," but in my body, I didn't know what to feel.
There are
You
so
know?
many black jokes.
Interesting.
Like I've
I didn't
never
know what to do.
experienced an hour and a half jam packed with more black jokes. Like
True.
to the point where some of them I was like, all right, man, damn. Like you got to go back and say that there's an orange soda dispenser in the car.
Oh my god.
Like they said
was
it like
great.
4 times,
That
and then
was
like
great.
at the end of the movie they cut to another shot of it. And I'm like,
It's so
big
great.
gulp.
Yo,
it is.
So-
but
the orange soda thing is so great.
So you're
true.
talking to a kid.
He loves orange soda.
Wait, but
I mean,
you
I do
might
too.
like orange soda more than Kel.
not only do I love orange soda, okay, but
you about to say?
he's in the car. Well, so just talking about the beginning of the movie, he's in the car. He tries to stop the car. It spins around several 360 spins.
Right.
Zoom in on the cup. It is stationary. There is no. It's filled to the brim with orange
Yeah.
soda. Not a drop is spilled.
That was in the trailer, I remember.
Oh, was it? I remember because I had an uncle who had a Cadillac. Oh, it's so embarrassing. I had an uncle who had a Cadillac.
That's not embarrassing.
No. Let me describe the Cadillac.
I like how you preface your story.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, because he had one of those Cadillac with the seats that had a seat cover, but they were like beads.
Oh, that is embarrassing.
So he had beads, and then in the front window under the mirror, he had like I don't know, like little tassels that like hung down.
No,
and he
but-
always had a big gulp. Okay, always had a big gulp with a root beer, and he was like, "Hey, don't." He's like, "Hey, nigga, hold my cup and don't spill it." Like if he made,
What?
If he
Now,
made it,
your
if he-
uncle?
If he
Here's my
turned, if he
question.
turned the corner, he'd be like, "Hey, hold this cup," because he drove with it.
Yeah.
But you need 2 hands to turn. So he'd be like, "Hey, little nigga, hold the cup," and he'd do a move.
Damn.
He'd do a move. But if you spilt it, it better be on yourself because you can't mess up the cup.
No, yeah,
That's
I
true.
don't know that. None of that is embarrassing to me. That if any of my uncles did anything,
You think it's cool, don't you?
Anywhere near as cool as
That's
that.
not cool.
No, it is that. Okay.
All right.
Okay, James.
Listen, when I first saw this movie, I don't know. I think I really liked it because the fact of the matter is, it was kind of like a Black Austin Powers, but we didn't have too many of those. You know what I mean? Like we didn't have like
too many.
We didn't have it. Yeah, we didn't have none. We didn't have
Well, I would
comedy,
say that,
mainstream comedies that weren't like targeted towards Black people.
We've had I think the non-comedy versions, like obviously
Right.
blaxploitation
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
Like that is kind of where Austin Powers comes from, is
Yeah.
those types of movies, and it's a parody on that. So this is like again parodying something else.
Yeah, it's a little blaxploitation.
Because there was "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker," which was like a similar
Right, yeah.
type of parody.
True.
But I'd say even more of a direct parody. And because this one at least has like a new story and all this other stuff. But the thing that I liked about this movie was all the meta stuff going on. Like, so one thing that happened that made me laugh really hard was there's the whole Denise Richards story, and she is presented as White She-Devil.
White She-Devil.
And it's like a black man's kryptonite color.
So literally, it's
That's what they
introduced
call it.
as the black man, our secret weapon. I call it the black man's kryptonite.
Cut to a shot of Denise Richards just like
In slow motion. In
It's-
slow motion.
But the
So
part that I
funny.
thought that was so funny was like she like she eventually like falls in love with him again. Like she turns on the man
Yeah,
and
yeah,
falls
yeah.
in love with him. So at a certain point in the movie, the message was like, you can't sell out and date a white girl. And then 10 seconds later, it's just like, I love you. And he's like, yeah, I'm with this white girl again. I'm like, what? And then they also present selling out in two different ways. Like they
Yep.
present selling out in the like the Colonel way, which we got to talk about the Colonel. 'cause
Right.
That's maybe
Yeah.
my favorite part of the whole movie.
Right.
Which is like he uses like black stereotypes to sell products.
He had a Colt 45. man.
Which they're kind of doing in this movie, right? And then the other way is like when he whiteifies himself and like learns how to talk white or
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
That's also selling out. So I just thought it was funny. Like you could do a lot of things to
There's a
sell
lot of
out
different ways
this
to sell out.
universe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways to
All
sell
right.
out.
Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah, we got to start
okay,
with
okay.
that.
Okay.
Right, so the beginning, we talked about the big gulp. But Undercover Brother is not a part of the Brotherhood
Nope.
first. At first, he's on his
He's
own.
just his own dude, and the Brotherhood is there to fight the man. I just love saying the man, and this movie said it so often that I was like, yeah,
Well, like literally,
fight the man.
There
And it
was a
like, 'cause
character
the-
that was named the
his,
man.
his name was the man.
The
and he
man.
was basically like Claw from Inspector Gadget. So you always saw the man. You just saw his hands doing shit.
Yeah,
and
his
you're
face
like,
is shrouded in
yeah, screw this
shadow.
man. Like, why? First off, you saw his tie. You know it's an expensive ass tie. Okay, all right. You know it's a good tie.
it's an
You know it's an
expensive
expensive tie. He had a suit, and I'm like, ooh, that's an Armani suit. Fuck the man. And I was on Undercover Brother side the whole time.
Well, I was
Science.
confused.
There we go.
There
Target
was,
audience.
none of that was science.
Science.
Rewatching the
What you-
movie, I thought it was funny that I didn't really realize that he wasn't part of the Brotherhood in the beginning. Like, I guess the
Right.
first time I saw it, like that was such a weird part. But it's like there's a Brotherhood, and then there's
And
this
there's Undercover Brother.
independent guy.
Who also calls himself. The thing that's
Yeah.
funny about it is that he calls himself Undercover Brother, and then everybody in the Brotherhood
Calls
is
him
named like,
Undercover
has like
Brother.
Sister Girl, Smart
Smart
Brother,
Brother,
Conspiracy Brother.
Neil, Neil
Was it
Patrick Harris was
Chief
like white
Brother?
guy. It was
Chief Brother.
Yeah,
Chief
Chief Brother.
Brother.
And he was like white. What was it? What's Neil Patrick
He's a
Harris?
white intern.
Oh,
Was-
did he have a
wasn't-
name?
No, he didn't have a code name because he wasn't one of the.
that's
brothers.
He wasn't a part of it. He was there because of affirmative action.
But yeah, so
That's literally the joke.
that is the joke. And
God.
that's funny as hell to me. Like the whole Neil Patrick Harris thing is so funny and stupid. Like it's unneeded, completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
But it's funny as hell.
And like what the main I guess the main conceit of the movie is like there's this guy who is Billy D, played by Billy D. Williams.
Yes.
Yo.
Billy D.
Yo, Billy D is so cool, man. The only thing I want to talk about before we get into Billy D
You sound
is
depressed
that,
when you said
no,
that, by the way.
because I forgot that Billy D used to sell the malt liquor back in the
Yeah,
day,
he did.
and so when they showed a commercial and they showed the chicken box, so it was a box of chicken and it was a 40, and I was like, yo, you used to do this in real life.
Yeah.
You used to sell malt liquor.
I think there was I think they
I
knew
mean, I
that.
know it was on purpose, but brother,
Yeah.
you selling malt liquor?
what was interesting is you're talking about the conceit with the Colonel is that the whole premise of the movie is that he might be the first black president.
He might be
Yeah,
the first black
yeah.
president.
Yeah.
And like watching that, I was really like, damn, we came a long way, man.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, because he was
Like
supposed
watching
to be-
Undercover Brother, I was like, yeah, right on, man. We got a black president.
He was like
Colin
he was like the Colin Powell
Yeah.
figurehead, right? Because he was a general, and like they were like, oh, we don't know if he's Republican or not, but who cares? It doesn't matter.
I feel like, yeah.
And in just one of the jokes when they were like introducing him, I thought was so funny was the news reporters are like these two white news reporters, and they're like, "We'll see who wins this race." Oh, race? Not gonna touch that one. It's like, so stupid.
Yeah, they were talking
know.
about race and in his race.
They also said like,
I said no. That's it's like, yeah, man.
Jerah, you didn't have to explain the joke.
Well, I was wanting people to know because they was talking about race.
Hey,
but he was like-
you know how I know that people knew? They laughed when they heard the joke.
First off, don't be calling out my explanation.
All right,
I wanna make sure everyone's on the
I'll
same
turn
page.
this car around.
No,
We'll
no,
go right
he's
back
doing
to
it
New
in
York.
Thank you, Papa Diston. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, like what
so
happens
they
is
infected him. They infect him with like some thing that
they
mind control.
brainwashed. So they brainwashed the colonel into sort of announcing that, like, they thought he was going to announce he was going to run for president. Instead, he announces he's going to open a chain of fried chicken restaurants, and it is so blatantly offensive that it's like probably my favorite part.
As
of
he
the
goes
movie.
through all the
Yeah,
sides.
he's like, you're gonna be sweet potato,
Wait, and
mashed potato.
Dave Chappelle whole time is
mac
like,
and cheese.
God, that shit made me laugh so much.
Oh my god!
And the sort of like cutting back to the reactions of the people in the Brotherhood was so funny, just because like that is the craziest shit that could ever happen, and they really just went for it in a funny way.
Yeah.
Like,
Could y'all imagine if Barack Obama, when someone says like, "Hey man, now that you're out of office, what are you gonna do?"
I'm gonna open a chain of
Obama fried chicken. Like, yo, could you imagine what would go down?
I would be in line.
No, y'all wouldn't.
yes.
Y'all would not go get Obama fried chicken.
I would think it was fucked up, but I had to try that Obama chicken. Man. I got to try that Obama chicken.
Oh my god!
No.
Oh my
You
god!
cannot
He was such a good president. He's gonna be juicy as hell. I mean, look, that part
What
of
if
the
he
movie.
called it KFC Kenyan fried chicken?
Ooh, even worse. But I'll be right in line, man. No, I thought that part of I thought that part of the movie was brilliant. Like just the pitch of this movie being like, oh, like if you were to give me this pitch without the tone or the jokes or anyone, I'd be
Right.
like, this is a brilliant idea.
Yeah. They,
So
had,
like,
they called it Operation Whitewash too. I was
Yeah.
like, there was a
so
lot of
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. They had a lot of like smart kind of jokes, and then they covered it with a bunch of kind of dumb jokes.
And I'll say another part of, so we introduced this plan, and you learn about the plan and the man through Chris Kattan's character.
Feather.
Yeah, Feather.
What is his name?
Mr. Feather.
Mr. Feather.
Mr.
He holds
Feather.
a feather, but that never comes
It never
back.
comes
Nope.
back. I think he blows it away.
Yep.
It doesn't
He
even
holds
matter.
a feather in the
But
beginning and never
Feather
comes
was
back.
like his. It was his
his
like
bond- it was his thing. Like his bond name.
essence. Like
Yeah.
Wait, what
like
you
sort
mean?
Of, well, no, like because he had the
What are you
feather. I'm doing the Chris Kattan. I'm doing the Mr.
I think
Feather.
it was a feather because he blew with the winds. If you know what I mean.
yeah.
So
Good
basically,
job.
the bit with Chris Kattan that's really funny is that the first time you see him, he's like changing songs in where he is.
Yeah.
And then It's Getting Hot in Here comes on
Yeah.
or something,
it's,
right?
It's Mary J. Blige.
Mary J. Blige. And
You want to sing it? Go ahead, James. Go ahead.
I can do the music.
I don't know the lyrics.
I don't know it at all.
None of us know the words.
Is that it?
Four black men do not know the words to a
Is that it,
Mary J.
bro? I know it's.
Yeah, it's that.
It is that. It's that. All I know is
Anyways,
percolate.
yeah.
Why you?
The song is
You know
called
what I'm saying?
Percolating, Howulating. But my favorite part of
In
that
this dancery?
in that
This
dancery.
Oh, or it could be the chicken fries. Remember she did a Burger King chicken fry commercial? No one remembers.
He's talking.
No one
Wait,
remembers.
Mary
no one
J.
remembers.
Blige
Yo,
did the
Mary
chicken
J.
fries
Yo,
commercial?
Mary
she
J.
did, she
Blige.
did, she
did
did.
that song. Yo, right?
She did.
It was
She
the
did.
same beat, and she was singing for chicken fries. Crispy chicken.
Oh,
fresh
no.
lettuce. Yo,
Yo, this honestly,
It's just like the
this-
Colonel. We were watching
y'all
the
ain't
screen.
seen
It's
that.
like, what the fuck,
Yo.
Mary J?
But wait, but y'all didn't see dude's face in the audience. He said it like he was sad, like, yeah, she did.
Yeah, she did it.
Yeah. Like,
He looked down. He was like, yeah,
I
she did it.
respect this movie so much more now.
Yo,
But I'm
real
saying my
stuff.
favorite part is when Chris Kattan starts dancing to that.
Yeah.
And then catches himself and he goes, "What the hell am I doing?"
And it's
To
a running
me,
joke.
That running joke of them just being influenced by black culture is so fucking funny.
It's so perfect.
And it's
too.
so funny because the man gets away, but you see that the man is also influenced
Yes.
by them. I thought that
I
was
mean,
like so
guys, let's
smart
not
and
forget.
so
You know,
stupid.
we live in a world where box braids are now popular. Models do that. Hot combs have just been invented. Apparently,
Right,
black
yeah,
people,
yeah, yeah.
Apparently, black people never use hot combs.
No,
Now
no.
white models are using hot combs, and it's a whole new thing.
But
you
the
know?
thing,
We're learning.
the thing about the movie that I thought was interesting, like the point of view of the movie that I thought was interesting, was Chris Kattan's character at one point goes, pretty soon we're all going to be doing the same things. We're all going to be one big happy. And he, and he describes it like we're
Like it's the
all
worst
together,
thing.
like
Yeah.
that appropriation leads to like togetherness in a way. And the fact that like that is what they were fighting, I thought that
Yeah.
I like the conceit of that. I think
That was great.
Because that feels like it's like, because yes, hot combs are just invented.
They just came out,
right?
Man.
Like,
Just came out, bro.
But this idea that like, oh, like we're doing this and we're doing it together. If that were the thing, that'd be
Right.
So
much better.
here's my issue with this movie. Not like any bad thing about the movie,
Here
but
we go.
like,
You got an
so
issue,
I
bro?
love the smart stuff. I love all this, but then you're watching the movie and it's also like 60% like Eddie Griffin like going hard as hell, like every
Mugging to the
facial
camera.
expression,
Yeah.
looking into camera, winking, like because they tried to make
But-
it like this cartoon.
Yeah.
So like it's really hard to watch the movie where it's like, oh, we're doing the broadest, craziest black sort of stereotype, and then also playing these really strong, funny ideas. I just thought that was what was hard for me.
I
To
like
be fair,
Eddie. I
to be
like
fair, I
Eddie.
think like that because that kind of comedy is really popular at the time.
Oh, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah,
I think
I
that's
mean,
where
like-
I think that's where it came from.
Yeah.
100%. Like it is from the Austin Powers world of
Yeah.
comedy, but like watching it and also trying to enjoy like the smarter parts
Right,
of it, I'm
right.
like, oh man, we're leaning in real hard.
I mean,
I could be wrong. That's just me. It was like hard.
Well,
for
how
me
do
to
we?
watch.
Well, let's
reason
talk
that-
about Eddie Griffin. Let's talk about
So
Eddie Griffin.
so the reason that I enjoyed even that so much, there was like one moment when I was like, oh man, it's about to be like this, and then I instantly
voice?
loved it,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like that. I just stopped for a
man.
second.
Yeah, man.
My girlfriend was like, who is? But I used to really like Malcolm and Eddie. I can't remember if it was actually a good show now, but I loved
It was on
Malcolm and
UPN, bro. It
Eddie.
had to be great.
And that's how he was on Malcolm and Eddie. Like Malcolm was like very like put together, and then he would just be like insane.
Right.
So it didn't feel like it started to feel like it was going to be too much, but then I remembered that was what I loved about Eddie Griffin. So
Yeah, I also think it wasn't like I think it's a little bit pulled back. I mean, if you could even say
Maybe,
that,
maybe.
But like Eddie Griffin can go real
Yeah.
hard. Like I'm just thinking about him and like the what's the
Double Take?
Meteor? No, he was in the beginning of
Meteor Man?
no, not Meteor Man.
I was about to say we could do that movie too.
Armageddon. He's in the beginning. Do you remember he has
Yeah.
a little dog in Armageddon?
Yeah.
And he's like yelling at somebody. He's like, ah, blah, blah, blah. He's just going.
Wait, what?
But I know what you mean, Jonathan. It's not.
Yeah,
that-
he's in the beginning of Armageddon.
Right.
He gets hit by or his dog dies, I think, right?
The only black dude I remember in Armageddon is Michael Clark Duncan. Well, there were two Negroes in Armageddon.
Well, no,
Yeah.
he's in like a short scene in the beginning of the movie where he's in New York and
He
he's
died.
I don't think it's
I don't
him.
think he
it's his
dies.
dog.
I think his dog dies. He has like a little dog, and he's
Can
like,
anyone
"Ah."
confirm? Anyone? Any huge Armageddon fans out there?
And Michael
Brother
Bay,
in the corner. Is he in it?
Yeah, man.
yeah,
He's
he
all
in
sad
it.
about
Yeah.
it. Fuck.
Yeah, he was in
Michael
He
Bay
doesn't
kept.
deserve
I remember he
it.
kept cutting to the shot of like Eddie Griffin and then the dog to like. I was like, what's going on
Yeah.
here?
No, I know what you mean though. Eddie Griffin could go bigger.
Yeah.
I just think he was very like drawn to like whenever the director was like, all right, we got to do the like most universal comedy. Like
Right.
they were trying to make $100 million comedy.
Yeah.
And I think that like made some of the Eddie Griffin stuff feel like I didn't like it so much.
Yeah,
But they did a good job of surrounding it with funny
Yeah.
jokes.
like when he like got whatever all the white instilled in him, all like.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
white-
It was just like
Yeah.
it was just like photos, like pictures of like white people dancing.
And it had NSYNC. It was
and like
NSYNC
trying to
playing
play
in the
yeah,
background.
in sync. I loved how they also showed like photos of white people playing basketball. And he was like, no.
See, I thought Eddie Griffin was cool because, again, I think Eddie Griffin was pulled back because usually he's like all over the place, and they tried to make him as cool as possible,
Yeah.
as cool as you could make Eddie Griffin. you
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like,
And
There
the
was
thing
a
is,
mo-
I think he was cool.
I thought he
right? I mean,
was.
right? Like he
Yeah.
was like
It was
anytime-
brief. I think it was brief because I think he got eclipsed by like your Martin Lawrences of the world, and
yeah,
like
he was in a tough time.
he was because I think that like honestly watching this movie I was like, why is he not in more shit?
Yeah.
Right,
Like
right?
he
We
must
talk
have
about this all the time.
He must have gotten like
he was in Double Team before
That's the name of a double team.
Wait, what is it? Double team
or
or double
Double Take.
We talked
Double
about
Take.
No, you're right. It's Double Take.
Double Take.
It's
Okay.
Double Take.
yeah,
What Orlando
Double
Jones
Team is with
Double team is
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis
Dennis
Rodman.
Chris Rodman and
Yes.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
But Double Take.
that one too, man. I know.
Double Take was
Double
Orlando
Take
Jones.
is Orlando Jones. You guys remember Orlando Jones? He was the 7 Up
Yeah.
guy.
Can't
Yeah.
forget.
Oh,
Make
No, I remember
7
him
up
from,
yours.
He's
That's
more
what.
than-
No, I
Drumline.
know. But
He was
that's
in
what,
Drumline.
Yeah,
I
he
know
was
he was
in
in
Drumline.
Drumline,
He
but
was
man,
in the Time Machine.
What?
Whole crowd dead silent.
You literally said that like everybody was going to be like, yeah!
Yeah, time machine. Nah, man. Nah.
No, everybody remembers
You
seven. Make
suffering
7
this.
up yours.
Okay, all right.
Oh.
So he was in double take.
Double take.
Double take.
Yeah, and I don't remember. I think like
That was
the
a crazy
Rush Hour.
movie.
Rush Hour sort of got him like.
Yeah.
What's that dude's name? I keep forgetting.
Chris Tucker?
Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
He like is Eddie, like he did the Eddie Griffin thing. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Eddie-
So I guess
yeah.
there could only be one, is what we're saying.
Well,
right?
no, it's just
Well-
tough. Like,
Well, when it comes to black comics, though, the ones who like pop, they always come as one at a time. For real, for real. Think about it right
Yeah.
now. We got Kevin. Who's the second hottest that's making movies? Like, who we got?
I guess Dwayne Johnson. That's why they double teamed. Put him in a movie
Is he
together.
considered a comedian? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I guess not
but you
really.
wouldn't-
He's an action
He's not the
Like, you get one at a time, one at a time. And the thing that I think suffered for Eddie Griffin a little bit is I think Eddie Griffin, I hate to say this, I think he played too urban. Whereas, like, if you look at, let's take a Chris Tucker or a Kevin Hart, they could do these movies that could play in, like, you know, Southeast or, like, Crenshaw, but then also play in Beverly Hills. Whereas, like, Eddie Griffin, when you see him, he has a very distinctive, like, edge. And I don't think
Yeah.
that crosses over that well. Or maybe he didn't get the movie that crossed over. Was this supposed to
Yeah.
be his crossover movie?
I think this
I
was
think
like his
this was
big-
supposed to be it.
This was it. Because,
Well,
if you
like-
think about it, they set it up so that there could be. I mean, we're skipping a little bit, but they set it up at the end of the movie. The man
It could be a
doesn't get
franchise.
captured.
Yeah.
It could be a franchise.
Right.
I was thinking, especially about Austin Powers, like Austin Powers
Totally
2,
setting
3. You know what I mean? Like, this could have been like Undercover Brother 2 could have came out. I think they
Yeah.
probably were thinking that was a possibility, but it didn't do that well. Like, it did okay, and they were like, nah, never mind.
but his afro,
And
though?
that sort of feels like the thing, though,
His
right?
afro was on point.
yes.
His afro
A great
was
afro.
so. I'm not even joking, in honesty. Like, every time he did a close up of that afro, I was like, bruh, whoever is doing your hair and makeup right now, it was so good.
I really like the part where he had the short hair and then jumped through the window and then had the afro.
I mean,
in
look,
full costume.
I
It's
wanted
like-
what I wanted to happen in that same scene, though, because it's that same scene where she puts his medallion back on him. I wanted the hair to just immediately become
I thought
an
so.
afro.
I thought it was.
The second they put the medallion back on, like, poof, and he suddenly has a fro. That would have been amazing.
I mean,
Yeah.
it bounced. I'm just saying that because I know how hair is, and it's like that hair was beautiful. Sorry, go ahead. You were saying something. Sorry, I was going.
no, it's okay. I
good
just
hair.
was realizing that, like, we haven't talked about the
Well,
plot.
no, the plot. Of
Whatever,
it
it's so.
is
trying
that
to
there's
get
this.
the man.
Well, you're right. There's this brotherhood that's trying to go after
Yeah,
the man. And Undercover Brothers is.
But basically, let's talk about the fact that they made him take in all of the white. I don't even know what you call that.
White
They,
alert.
like, white-
Well,
white-
I think we're
white
skipping
commission.
something, right? Because I think they try to do something first. Don't they?
You're right. They
try-
went to
Yeah.
the golf club.
Yeah, they
He
try
was
to
like,
do
he
some
was like a
golf
Jamaican
thing, yeah.
character.
Like that. See, that part was where I was like, whoa. He's like, all of a sudden we see him as a caddy in full dreads and like Jamaican colors, and I was like, yo, this is a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Well,
like,
well, that's the joke, though.
No,
no,
because he
totally,
says-
and like
They keep with it. Yeah,
they
like-
keep with it.
they
And
keep
look,
with
by
it.
the end of the movie, I'm with it. You know what I mean? But there are definitely parts where I'm like,
well, Undercover Brother
whoa,
has to
that's
go
a crazy-
undercover.
Yeah, it's true. He had
He's
to go
gotta go
undercover.
undercover.
But
right
here's
before
the
it, he
thing that
says-
here's the thing that did like annoy me about the movie is that he has this amazing Jamaican costume. No, literally nobody sees him in it. He's literally like by himself.
no, they see
he
him
like
in it.
he
And then
like
he
throws,
changes.
He like throws like a golf ball that's like a camera, and then he's like, "Okay, I'm going in," and he changes. And I was like, "You weren't undercover."
He does it. He did that at the beginning of the movie when they first meet Sister Girl, when like he's like
The old
trying to
man.
rob the bank. He's the old man.
No,
and
but-
immediately like
Well,
his outfit
that
comes
gets
off.
ripped off at least.
Immediately though.
But this is why he was so cool, because he would like completely dress up into these things and completely disappear as the characters. But then it didn't matter, because once he got into the place he got into, he would immediately become Undercover Brother and like be like Mac, and the music would change. It was cool.
Well, I think that what they're trying to say is, as a black man, there is no escaping your identity.
Uh-oh!
Wow.
Shit.
Wow. Wow.
Wait,
Wow.
didn't one of the producers
Wow.
or didn't one of the writers of this
Wow.
movie make 12 Years a Slave? Or
I
like
hope
there
not.
is there is like
Oh
a
my God. Are
relation
you
between
serious?
this movie and 12 Years a Slave. Either one of the
Wait,
writers.
why do you hope not?
Because of my thing about it, okay? When I think of 12 Years a Slave, all right?
Oh
It
God.
no, I'm not going to go into my 12 Years a Slave
Gerard's gonna
thing.
go into one of his
I'm
stories.
not going to
No,
go
we
into it.
should let
I'm
this
not
happen.
going to go into it.
Okay.
I'm just saying, when I think of 12 Years a Slave, yes, it was a good movie. But I'm like, come on, man. I don't want him to go from the Undercover Brother to talking about slave stuff, because I mean, his next movie is probably going to be about the hood, where it's like, hey, man, where's the Black Doctor movie? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Can I get
Doctor movie.
that's
But
all I'm
the-
saying.
It's
but this
called
movie-
Concussion, starring Will Smith.
Yes, and this
Oh,
movie
you-
had
good point.
Smart Brother in it.
Oh,
They made
Smart
fun of
Brother
Smart
is
Brother
the
for being
character.
smart. They made fun of Smart Brother for being smart.
Not too much.
Yeah,
They did make fun. Yo, the first time you meet Smart Brother, they literally say, "Get your ass in the corner, Smart Brother." They make fun of him, man.
I think that's Dave Chappelle, though. Dave Chappelle.
No, it was Chief. It was the Chief.
Well, Chief was yelling at everybody for everything.
I mean, true, but
Okay,
they gotta
all right.
respect Smart Brother.
There are moments that were really funny to me that I didn't talk about that we have passed so far.
Yeah, we got to talk about the mayonnaise.
I just want to throw them in. Okay, well, we do have to talk about the mayonnaise.
Do you like mayonnaise? Anybody like mayonnaise?
Okay,
Drew?
Hell no.
here's the thing. Wait.
That was one part of the movie that I was like, yes, thank you for putting this in a movie.
Oh my
But-
God! Wait, can I tell you something? Okay, first of all, I'm half black and half white, right? Like, I grew.
What you about to say right now?
Here's the thing.
Oh shit.
Here's the thing. I grew up like I was born in New York, but then I also grew up in Jersey, and it was like a very white suburb. So I was like one of the only black kids. I was the only black kid in my class, and like I hated mayonnaise, but I remember just being like, I hate mayonnaise. I don't like mayonnaise. It wasn't a thing. I just didn't like it, and I saw Undercover Brother, and when they were like, black people don't like mayonnaise, I was like.
Yes, you felt at home.
Okay, wait.
I'm black.
Wait, did you not know until you saw Undercover Brother?
No, I like.
Here's the thing.
You don't understand, man. People would
thing.
like.
Wait,
people
wait.
would tell me all the time, like, John, you ain't black, man. You like Will Smith, like you know.
Hey, what do you say about Will Smith,
but
man?
hold up.
You know how black people hate on
Hey,
Will
man,
Smith.
hey,
You know how
Will
the
Smith's a
only
kid.
reference to Will Smith in this movie is Neil Patrick Harris has a line.
I know he does.
Exactly, man.
But
When
wait,
I saw
but-
that people didn't, I was just like, I get it.
Well,
James.
here's,
you
the,
like
here's the
mayonnaise?
experience I had.
Okay.
You like mayonnaise?
He transforms into Token, and I'm like, this is the embodiment of who I am. No, but like,
All right, hold
No,
up.
but
I'm not
really,
gonna lie.
like-
I'm not gonna lie. When I watched this, I was like, he got James' haircut.
That is James.
He went
That is
straight to
Shaun's
James's haircut, and then I was
those
like,
James
oh
vibes.
man. I was like,
no, wait, but it's not fair. It's not fair because. I mean, mayonnaise.
Hey, yo,
Mayonnaise is just is a dressing that you can put on your sandwich.
Oh, hell no.
So you like
It
mayonnaise?
just makes it. Yes.
Do you like
mayonnaise
Miracle Whip too?
Yeah, Miracle Whip's good too. Miracle Whip is
Nah,
is
man, you use
not
mustard.
What?
Only mustard.
You use only mustard?
If you making a turkey sandwich, you put fucking mustard
No,
on
you
there.
put no.
You
what
might
you
get
do,
spicy
no,
belly
what
mustard.
you do
No, don't
is,
get. Hey,
what you do is, hey, what
Hey.
you do is
This
you
is the
put
part of the
mayonnaise
podcast I
on
don't
one
like.
side.
No, you do not put
Then
mayonnaise
you
on
put
one.
that mustard over that mayonnaise.
Oh, you
Then you
nasty.
put that turkey and that.
No, don't clap that up. You don't put mayonnaise and turkey together. They are separate. They are separate. You put one on one piece of bread and the other one on the other side of the bread.
No, what you're saying is bizarre.
How are you? How are you doing today, Shaun?
I'm doing pretty good. I'll tell you what I want to talk about. This movie.
Wait, but so the parts from the movie that I didn't get to say though, real
What?
quick,
What?
because Shaun, you should speak
Hurry.
as our special guest. But Blackness Confirmed was one of my favorite.
Oh
parts.
yeah, the
So like
handshake.
a fist just comes out, like to get clearance into the Brotherhood, a completely black fist comes out, and he just does a sea of like different handshakes with it, and then Blackness Confirmed, and the
Like,
fist
to-
comes
yeah,
He
out.
pounds
me-
it. He pounds that.
To me, that was like. That was on the side of like, oh, these are the really funny smart jokes you could do in this movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that, I was so I laughed so hard at that. And
And then what about when they go down in the secret passageway and he's like, ah!
and he's freaking out.
He's
and then
freaking out,
they're
they're
like, oh, they just have wind.
Yo,
and
Yeah, it's just the wind and the lights. It's right there.
Yo, so I'm gonna tell a story. So James and I went to like our agency yesterday, and there was one black agent there, right? We first meet him. I'm sorry, I got to. It was a black agent. We shake his hand. He give us the nice, like, professional handshake. After talking to us for a little bit, his voice goes, "Yeah, man." And then when we leave, he daps us up. Like all of a sudden, he's like chilling. We leave. All right, man. See y'all later. I'm like, did this nigga voice just? And he gave me the handshake. He did it to you too, right?
Did it to me too? Yeah,
And he
yeah.
gave you a nod when he walked out. He's like, "Yeah." It's like you got to know, man. The handshake is
Gotta
real.
know if blackness is
You
confirmed.
got to know.
Blackness confirmed.
Blackness confirmed.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really funny. And the whole like introduction to the like Brotherhood, this is where I was like, this is the most Austin Powers the movie
Yes.
was. Like they did literally beat for beat scenes from Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Like you do the whole like cue, like check out the hot sauce watch. Do you
Right.
know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the hot sauce watch.
It was like you'll be able to eat any white food without any problem.
It
I
make
was like,
any white food edible.
Well,
I was
one
just
spray
like-
of it. But we didn't talk about Sister Girl.
okay, let's talk.
Like
Oh, yeah,
Sister
okay.
Girl to me was so cool because Sister Girl, when we first meet her, right? When we first meet Sister Girl, she's in the bank, she's undercover, she's about to break into the bank, right? And then all of a sudden, Undercover Brother messes it up. She comes back to the Brotherhood and like, oh, we got to get this.
She
brother
saves
here.
him. She helps.
She saves him.
Yeah.
But then they're like, we got to get Undercover Brother. She's like, for what? Like, why do we need a man here? And they're like, wait, no, not like that. She's like, oh, you need a man? And she keeps hitting on it. And they're like, no. And you realize you don't see any other black women, even when they show like the Brotherhood. She's the only sister there. And I'm like, you know what? Sister girl, I love her, man. Had an afro.
I will say,
With every
I love
hairstyle
that.
in there.
I love that, but they did not go back to that once.
No,
she's
they didn't.
all of a sudden
didn't.
into fucking Undercover Brother. That's why I was like, all right, this movie was really rushed when they wrote it.
Yeah, they did. I mean,
It's
yeah.
short.
It's not.
It's
They did not
86
write her
minutes.
character.
Yeah.
I
It
liked
is short.
I liked Sister Girl, but there's something about Denise Richards' character that I really like.
Hey, I'm not on that.
I just like it's like she had a really fun part.
No.
Hey. But you know what? The woman who plays Sister Girl, I gotta look her name up.
It's Ingenue.
Ingenue.
She's
Ellis.
been in a bunch of stuff,
A
right?
bunch. She has a
Aunt
show.
Bonnie
Yeah.
Ellis.
She has a show coming out on Fox. It's about slaves, but it's a show. Sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that. I was about to describe it. It's like-
You 100% meant to say it like that.
I mean, but like once I describe it, like yeah, it's about slaves, and it's like they will know our names or something
Wait,
like that.
there's another show about slaves coming
Is
out?
this
Yeah,
now
Jane.
the third
I almost
one?
called you Jane. I'm so used to yelling at Jane.
Because you were mad, you called it.
I instantly wanted. Yeah, but no, it's another slavery show where these slaves are different.
There are
because
multiple.
what? No. I mean,
But
no, these
these
slaves are different.
These slaves are different.
These slaves are different.
You have never seen slaves like this
Never before have
See,
such
these
a
slaves are in the
amazing
these slaves are in the Marvel universe.
We are-
These are
So a
different
couple of them have
slaves.
superpowers. It's
These
tight.
are not your ordinary slaves.
Listen, they had a different because like Underground is about the slaves running away. These are about the slaves that are about to be emancipated because it's during like
Got you.
the Civil War. So these are different slaves. These slaves that got they're different slaves, man.
No, I get it. It's just
you know what?
We've just said slaves a lot, man.
You know, I'm done. Y'all
all
go
right.
ahead.
What?
James got notes.
So
I have a lot of notes.
yeah. Go.
Okay, no. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say like so the major like infiltration of the movie is that once this golf plot doesn't work, that he has to like go undercover as a white person, right?
Yeah.
So I don't even understand what that means. He just goes undercover in general, and then he just
Well, he's like he becomes the token safe black dude. Like his
Yeah, 'cause
voice
he-
changes.
He has to get close to the man.
And he like it's like the first day.
that's
he,
what I'm
like,
saying. It's like how does he just like get a job with them, or what? What does he just show up as a white dude?
Well,
Or is it
right,
black
no.
dude?
He shows up as the black dude with the job, but the way that they make it work is
the fatty.
everyone that works there, right? Everyone that works there is white, and they're like, we need some hip new ideas.
Oh, right,
you know, like
right,
talking to
right,
him,
right.
and then he introduces the fatty, and it works.
The fatty.
Oh,
which
the
is hit-
fatty,
which is,
right.
Which is aggressively. You know they were talking about penises, right?
But he goes, yes,
Because she
Ah,
had-
we get it.
Everybody
man.
got
we
that.
are
Well, I want to describe the scene. So the scene is
grown
like
adults.
there's a woman with a small I don't know if it's true or accurate, but I'm just describing the scene. There's a woman with a small, short, and it's like a limp cigarette, right?
Yeah.
And she's not satisfied with the cigarette. He comes in with the fatty, which is a huge, cigarette that's extra long and extra thick. And he talks about
Right.
the girth of it, right? And then she falls in love with him based on the girth of the cigarette. Why are you staring at me? That's what
then
happened
she-
in the scene.
No, and then
That's
she-
literally like scene.
I
And
feel
then-
like you're like a
That's the
7-year-old
scene.
explaining to me a joke, like a sex joke that they've
That's
heard
not
for
a
the
sex
first
joke.
time. They're like, no. Look, the idea is that the fatty is like the penis,
It
right?
is. That's what this
And
scene
like,
was.
But you don't need to explain it because then she goes on to she has like an orgasm as he's describing.
Yeah,
get
So
it's
we got-
pretty obvious.
I was trying to make sure people knew they hadn't seen it yet.
But I think that part was really funny, right? And then the sort of counterplay is that they introduced Denise Richards' character,
Yeah.
and she's the white,
which
she-devil.
I didn't understand because like she already knew that he was Undercover Brother. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
She did.
Yeah, they were both undercover.
So it was like his undercover didn't work because the man knew he was undercover
Yeah, 'cause
brother.
remember they saw a
but
photo of him.
The
Remember they saw
man
him.
knew it was him, but he got into the company.
Yeah.
Remember
he broke in?
Yeah, he
and they
broke
had they had
in
the
and then
security-
like
Yeah.
got some data, and they got his like picture.
Right.
But
So yeah, and then he goes back to being the
Yeah.
white
Yeah.
infiltration person.
But can we talk
Yeah.
about that though? Because I know, at least sometimes it's like as an African American man, I can speak on it. Is that sometimes I was taught that you have to speak like 2 languages or whatever, which I think they kind of were hinting at in this movie with him becoming white. Whereas like if you are black and from an urban area, if you made it to corporate America, you would have to change your appearance, the way you speak, at least there. And that way, when you're back around your black peers, you can change back to
Right.
like whatever it is. So
Right.
you were taught to speak two languages.
And then they're playing the idea of like, is it too tempting to like?
is it typical to
forget?
stay in that
Yeah,
world?
yeah.
Because he even like Sister Girl says, "Oh, you're not coming back." Whereas like he doesn't
Yeah.
want to come back to
The chief is like, you can't go with no interest loans. And what was the other thing you were saying? It's like, oh, what?
Honestly, the
Lattes.
black jokes flew at me so fast. I was like, I just let them wash over me at a certain point. I was like, damn,
There's so-
dude.
But
Yeah,
that was some
there's
deep
so
stuff. If
many
you think
black
about it,
jokes.
though, the fact that like he had to become white to like infiltrate this company, and then like he was called out for doing that and not wanting to come back with the black people. And when he came back, he was better than them. Like he was acting better than them. Like he had his flip flops, his Crocs on.
I think it's
Yeah.
brilliant, but then the way they play it is like he meets her, and then they cut to them doing Ebony and Ivory karaoke,
yeah.
and that's it. Like that is their interaction. Is
Yeah.
that they're in love and they're singing, which I think is a really funny
And they
part.
reference them. Maybe he slept with her. Maybe.
Yeah,
It's
maybe.
a reference. Anyway.
But I feel like I feel like he. Oh man, Kanye says it in that song. You know, once he get on, he leave your ass for a white girl, and that's that fear that plays into things. It's like, oh, this dude made it, so of course he's about to leave Sister Girl and go with what's her name, White She Devil? Is that her
Yeah,
name?
but like,
and it
White
wasn't
She
even a thought. Like he instantly did it, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh my goodness. And that movie, I felt like did that in a smart way. It's just like, yeah, of course it was super
Totally.
silly, but
And then basically he learns a lesson. Nah, I gotta go with.
I gotta go.
yeah.
with-
I gotta go back with Sister Girl. And then 10 minutes later, he's like, "Oh, okay, I could take this white girl too." I was like,
Yeah, because she just turns and
she's just like, "I'm into you now."
once
And it's like,
once
what
I
the
go
fuck?
undercover brother, I'll
Yeah.
never want another.
Wait, but I didn't get
Yeah.
the impression that he.
No, he
was-
didn't. By the end,
Yeah.
he's with Sister Girl.
He's like with Sister Girl.
but there is a moment in the movie where I'm like, "Wait, what just happened?" He's
Yeah.
just like back
Yeah.
with Denise Richards. All right.
And then the last leg of this movie is just them. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, the
honestly.
last leg of the movie is the whole James Brown.
Yeah.
plot.
Oh,
So
yes.
James Brown is in the movie, which I think is like another like reason that this was like a major play. Like they
It
were
was.
trying
They
to
were
make
going for
this a fucking $100 million comedy.
Yeah, because Austin Powers does the same thing. It has
the
a famous
same
person.
thing.
Yeah.
But the James Brown part is so funny because I just like seeing James Brown do that dance. You know what I
that's
mean?
great.
What is that even called? Just like the
I mean, it's
side
called the
style?
James
It's
Brown.
called the James Brown.
James Brown, bro.
That
James
shit is
Brown.
so funny.
Yeah.
And so basically what happens is they
They know that he's the next target.
No, yeah. So the man is going to expand their program, and they know that James Brown is a target. So he, spoiler alert, Undercover Brother, sort of Mission Impossible, like becomes James Brown. Like he has a James Brown suit on, basically.
Which we don't
don't know that
but
for a while.
But
You know
can
it,
tell.
you
It's
know.
like because like literally every member of the team is
You
there
haven't
except
seen
Undercover
it.
Brother.
But basically, it's like so they have James Brown in this place, and then they're like, "All right, James Brown, we're gonna hit you with this serum," and he goes, "Say it loud." And then Chris Kattan.
What?
The funniest part is that Chris Kattan wants to say he's black and he's proud so bad, but he's not saying it. He's like, so he's like, say it loud. And he like starts doing the dance, and then Chris Kattan
Everybody's
just goes, I'm black and I'm proud. That shit made me laugh out loud last night. Oh my god, that was so funny.
Listen, this movie was black as hell. I mean, you had Billy D. Williams.
This might be the blackest movie I've ever seen.
I mean, this is a black ass movie.
because it was
black movie.
aggressive. Like they were going so aggressive just with it. They're like, this is the black movie.
Yeah, it was
Chappelle had a kufi
unapologetic.
on the whole time. He had a kufi on.
Listen,
the
Oh my
whole
God! He talked
movie.
about he was. I mean, we have to talk about Dave Chappelle just a little bit.
He
Like,
has a whole
his
thing.
character is like conspiracy theory guy, and like there's one part where he was like, "Did you know that that George Washington Carver made a computer out of a peanut?
A peanut.
A peanut."
Oh, what?
feel
You
like
know
when
what?
I-
What did he say the other one?
Remember,
What?
he was like,
Did he?
No, he didn't say the other one.
Oh.
I feel
My
like
favorite line is that.
he was like, Jesus was a black man. Babe Ruth was a black man. They're like,
Ruth.
okay.
Okay.
He's like, Madonna, 6'2" black man.
No, he
she
goes,
says,
Madonna has sex with black men.
man.
Yeah.
Black man.
You
all
get
right.
what I'm saying? Dave Chappelle's. So when I watched this movie, I guess I first saw it. Must have been in high school or something. And when I watched this movie, I was Dave Chappelle. Like I was conspiracy.
Oh, you was
brother.
conspiracy brother?
Yeah.
I was conspiracy brother. Like I was just like smoking weed all the time, but just like, yo, you gotta know that the government. I used to like love telling people like, yo, you know they brought crack into the hood.
Hey, man,
the
that's true.
CIA.
Hey, that's true though.
But I know it's true. I can go off right
man,
now,
you know,
man.
Allstate, hey man,
Oh,
you know
God.
they put the guns in there, right?
Wait,
you know they put the guns in.
So we are all. I feel like watching this
Oh, I
movie.
definitely believe in some of those conspiracies.
What I liked about this movie is that by watching this movie, I'm like, oh, I'm all these brothers. I'm a little bit of smart brother. I'm
Yeah.
a little bit of undercover brother. I feel like we all are undercover brothers in a way.
Wow.
Like you were talking about speaking two languages.
you got
I think
to.
the idea.
Wait, can we just let that rest for a second?
Come say it again though, Diston.
I think we are all undercover brothers in our own way. Because like what you were saying, Jerah,
Yeah.
is like, yeah, you speak another language when you go to like some meeting. You know what I
Yeah, you
mean?
got
Like, so in that way, it's really smart. But then in another way, one of my favorite parts of the movie. So like, he comes out of the James Brown suit, and he's now undercover brother, and it's now him and Chris Kattan, and they're about to fight, and they're doing this fight scene, and the whole time I was watching it, and then I just started laughing because I was like. Chris Kattan and Eddie Griffin, these like 5
I thought the same thing.
are
bro.
doing like a full-on kung fu
I
fight
know,
scene.
it's like they're
They're
the
the
I was
smallest
laughing
dudes
so
ever.
hard.
No one would ever think
They're
to look at them for a
scrawny,
fight.
like,
But-
yeah.
But it looked good though. It was a
To
good fight.
beat it, and it's like,
Right?
No, it's to beat it. That's what was so
beat it.
funny.
Also, the soundtrack in this movie is
It's amazing.
It's
Yeah.
dope.
They spent so much money, but like the beginning of that fight where they're like telling each other to come over, like that that physical comedy is so funny. And then I'm watching it and I'm just like, oh man, they had to choreograph this fight for these two like featherweight.
But
Yeah.
what I love about it, what I also love about it too, is that like they set it up so much that you're just like waiting in that fight for something to happen either to his clothes or to his fro. Like
Oh,
the
yeah,
whole
the
fight, you're
fro.
just like, you know that's going to be the
Yeah.
turning point. Like
It's
no matter
true.
what, it's
But then he. All right. So then, Chris Kattan cuts a part of his fro,
Which is so disrespectful.
Which is so disrespectful.
Wait.
So
Before we
disrespectful.
talk about this, can
Yeah,
we talk
yeah.
about Neil Patrick Harris and the little freak out that he had?
Oh,
oh yeah.
what the
Yeah.
fuck
Was
so? All
that?
right,
Yeah.
middle of the
he
movie's
gets
ending,
violent, boy.
and there's this
He gets
part
so
where
violent.
this makes no sense.
No, do not emasculate a white man.
Yeah, there's
because
a part.
he will.
We'll kill you.
kill
There's
you.
this part where they're like escaping,
what that-
and these guards come up, and then they're like,
Yes.
That's
they
what that-
basically call Neil Patrick Harris a sissy.
They just call him a sissy, which isn't a
sissy.
which
don't
hasn't been
you-
established. It wasn't like a thing that we've heard
It
before.
seemed like it was
but
some
James just
callback.
broke it
We know.
James just broke it down. Think about it.
You can't
Don't
emasculate.
You
emasculate
can't
a white man,
emasculate
he
a
will
white
kill
man
you.
because he will legitimately murder
Rip out
you.
your spine.
He straight up ripped
will-
out a dude's
he will-
spine.
He will
Squash his
Jason-
head.
Which
All right,
one
all
is
right.
it? It's Jason Goes to Hell. Just squash your head and it'll explode. Like
I thought that was going to be like a weird flash or like, oh, he was dreaming that. And then I was like, wait, that just happened for real? He just murdered those people?
He
There was a
ripped
lot
out
of
a dude's
murder
heart.
in this
he
movie.
ripped out a dude's heart. He ripped out a dude's spine, and then he just smashed
Smashed a
What was
dude's
the
head.
green stuff that came out there?
that was
know.
brains.
It was
green brains.
It was because it was PG-13, but it was still pretty
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
freaking violent.
this was PG-13?
It was PG-13.
There were so many murders in this
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
One of the first murders that just
Aggressive murders.
one of the first murders that kind of like was like what is in the golf course, like when they're being chased, they're doing the slow speed
Oh,
chase,
yeah.
and then they hit this like
That is so
propane
funny.
tank. And then it doesn't blow up, and they're doing the joke of like, oh, that didn't blow up, not a big deal. And then it just blows up, and it's like those two dudes are dead,
But
man.
the whole
No
Those
one
are just
cared.
security guards at this golf course.
the whole chase was so slow that it made that death justified.
But
like,
to,
like-
yeah. But to me, that's like a joke from Austin
That is
Powers.
100% a joke from Austin
Still a
Powers.
joke. But we're talking about like the end. So like he cuts the
end's dope.
afro,
Cuts
right?
the afro.
So disrespectful.
But then like Eddie Griffin gears up to do this like big.
If you touch the fro,
you
got
got
to
to
mess
go.
with the
They had a lot of Johnny Cochran rhymes in this movie.
I mean, it's like they basically stepped on his Jordans.
They
man.
stepped on his
They
Jordans.
stepped on his
but,
Jordans.
But the thing that was weird for me was after that he basically punches him a couple times and then looks like he's gonna kick him off a cliff.
Yeah.
But then he just does a flip and kicks him, and then Eddie Griffin, and then he's just on the ground.
yeah.
And then like
I remember
that was supposed to be like the last thing he did, but then like within seconds, Chris Kattan got up and ran onto a helicopter.
Yeah.
Like the whole fight was so anticlimactic. It didn't make any sense.
No, it was not cool.
I
So, yeah.
mean,
So he still had a couple.
Gerard, did he
moments.
kill the big bad?
Oh my goodness, he didn't.
He didn't kill.
He did not kill the big bad.
No,
And the thing about it is,
again,
we get there.
I think that was because they were setting up for the sequel.
Man, no, man. If you're gonna make a movie when you go after the man,
Could at least
you
he could have been the one that killed Chris Kattan.
or he could have stabbed the man in
Well,
the leg.
technically, he is the one who killed Chris Kattan,
Yeah.
right? So, like,
Chris Kattan isn't the big bad.
Chris Kattan.
The
No,
man.
no. A shark killed
Yeah,
Chris
a shark.
Kattan.
There you
because, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Kattan is hanging off a helicopter, and Eddie Griffin does this move that he does a couple times. He throws his afro pick like a ninja star, and it
That's
hits.
pretty funny.
Gets
It's
him in the
very
butt.
funny.
That's pretty funny.
It hits Chris Kattan, and it has some fun graphics, but it hits Chris Kattan in the butt for some reason.
'Cause a
And
butt is funny.
A butt is funny,
Right?
And that makes
I
him
love that,
fall
right?
from the helicopter. But
And a shark
before
eats him.
hitting the ground, a shark dives out of the water and chomps him, and then he's dead. And my mouth was agape at that point. I was like, wait, what just
It
happened?
makes sense.
It
Sharks
didn't-
are in the water.
Why?
No, the
Why
sharks-
couldn't they just blow?
No,
why couldn't
because-
they just
no,
throw the thing?
Gerard just said it
Science.
makes sense.
Science.
Sharks are in the water.
Listen, let me-
Wait, explain
Let
that,
me tell you
Gerard.
how-
What do you mean
let me-
sharks
Let
are
me
in
tell
the
everybody
water?
how science works, all right? Okay, so when you have water, when you have an ocean, sharks are there. And sharks smell blood. So what happened was
right.
when Eddie Griffin threw the picks in the butt,
Yep.
you didn't see it because we cut away. But a little drop of blood from the butt cheek
Yeah,
went
no,
in the
like
water.
a drop
So the
of blood
shark
from the
knew
butt
where he was,
You know
and the
they
shark
talked
was
that
waiting.
over.
Wow.
Yeah,
And as he
yeah.
fell, his butt was dripping blood.
Yeah.
Shark knew it, got him, ate him because of the
Wow.
blood from the butt. Science.
Yep.
Good job,
Yep.
Gerard. Great
Good,
job.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Go ahead.
Science.
Let me ask you guys a question.
That's fair.
Because I was thinking a lot about this. This
Yeah.
seemed like they were setting up a sequel, right?
Yeah,
I
of course.
definitely think so.
What would you? All right, so let's say you have all the money in the world and you can set up the sequel right now.
Oh.
What would the like?
Baby.
Because what was fun about this movie was it felt very relevant. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of shit that's
Ooh.
like very relevant. So I'm like, what could you do right now that would be fun?
All right. So Undercover Brother and Sister Girl,
Okay.
they have a kid.
Right. Right.
That is where you start.
Yep. He's about 12 years old.
Oh, so he,
Okay,
wait, is he out the game? Is he out the undercover game?
Yeah, he's out the game.
Okay, he's out the game.
Okay.
All right.
He's out the game. Kid's about 12 years old. What's on the news?
Uh-oh, people getting shot.
Bunch of people getting shot.
People getting
Bunch
shot.
of
Real
people
life.
getting
Real
shot.
life stuff.
Hell
I feel
yeah,
you.
hell
Go
yeah.
ahead,
Scared
build.
some people in the audience with that.
Build on it. Build on it, brother. I feel
Okay.
what you're doing. Go ahead.
Okay. The kid is like trying to fight this. Undercover Brother's like, no, we we're trying to be, get out of that. Get out of that. He's like, no, I'm doing it.
So
Doing
you're
it.
saying Undercover Brothers like kind of retired?
Yeah, Undercover Brother, he's retired. He doesn't want. He doesn't want to.
He don't pick out the
But
fro
the
no more?
boy is like, he don't pick out the fro no more.
Oh, okay. That's how you know.
Also, he
it's
got a little bit. He's a little balding anyway. You know what I
Okay,
mean? Like,
gotcha.
got like.
Does his son have like a small afro?
over. His son got dreads, bro.
Yeah, no, his son has.
His son got dreads. You got to
Yeah,
update.
dreads.
You got to
Sure.
update. You got to update.
Son definitely has dreads.
You gotta
But then,
update.
but then, there's danger of his son getting shot. Undercover Brother's like, I got to get back in the game.
Wait, but what happens with the son? How does the son get in danger?
I mean, like he's like in a
Just
gang
in
of some
general.
kind.
Oh, okay. He just in
You know
general.
what I mean? Like
Okay.
he's
Wait,
like,
he's in a gang?
of some kind.
I don't like
a-
this anymore.
But
No, I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is. He's like
Black Lives Matter
he's
kinda
like he's like the head of a Black Lives Matter
Okay.
organization.
Yeah, I like this.
And Undercover Brother gets word of some like police like thing that's about to happen.
Okay,
or like
yeah.
not even police. I'd say like
The
the
man.
man.
The man.
is like
Uh-oh.
is trying to
Man.
like incite some sort of like riots.
race
you know what I
war,
mean?
yeah.
So there's like the innocent police and the innocent black protesters,
Oh, no.
and then the man is trying to shake things up.
Yes.
And
The man trying to
Undercover
cause
Brother
a
gets,
wedge.
yeah, Undercover Brother gets a word of it, and he says, "Ain't nobody fucking with my son, because Undercover Brother is now Undercover Father."
Oh.
Hey, yo,
I'm
Diston
gonna
came
watch
ready.
that movie.
Diston
man.
came ready.
That's pretty
Came
good.
ready. That's. I mean,
Undercover
there's a problem I
Father.
have with this movie.
Uh-oh, okay, what is it?
I got two problems.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
This movie is about an undercover brother trying to fight the man.
That's
All right?
true, yeah.
Yes.
He gets, was it White She-Devil in this movie? Who's trying to take him away from the brotherhood?
That's true, that's the thing, yeah.
Who he's supposed to at one point fall in love with.
Yeah.
Okay, do we see him kiss on the lips in this movie?
Who?
No.
White She-Devil.
White
and-
She-Devil and Undercover Brother.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
So this is the movie
Oh no.
where it's supposed to happen,
No.
and my man
In fact,
didn't get a kiss on the. You get a kiss on the lips when someone gave you $2, and it's like, oh, thank you.
Okay.
So they gave you $2. My
That
man
doesn't-
was in this movie.
That
Do you
doesn't
think they
happen.
left that out like on purpose?
I think on purpose it didn't happen. So I'm gonna put a swirl in this goddamn
okay, here we
movie.
go.
So you
Okay.
don't. So wait,
Time
you
for the
don't think?
swirl.
Oh no! Wait for it. This is gonna get interesting in here. All right, this is what happens with the swirl. All right. So this is the thing. Okay. Again in this movie, it's a lead black actor in the movie. It's a white actress in the movie.
Right.
He doesn't hook up with her, right?
Right.
But I want to change this world a little bit because I know this world is supposed to be about race. But I want this world to be about race. Is it cool? Can I change it? Can I change it?
Oh, I guess
Can
in the
change it?
context of this movie,
But it's not going to be with Denise Richards, though.
Okay.
Okay? I'm going to take you to the end of the movie. I'm going to take you to the helipad, okay? It's a fight happening between Christian Tan and Undercover Brother. Mr. Feather, Undercover Brother. All of a sudden, he cuts off the afro. Undercover Brother's like, why'd you do that? Mr. Feather goes, I don't know. I think I just want us to be friends. And he's like, that's all I want. All we want to do is just be one people. And he's like, yeah, man, no hatred. You know, give me a hug. All of a sudden they hug in the center of the helipad, okay? And all of a sudden they hold each other a little bit too tight. And then you realize that both of them went low. So they both have each other. They're hugging the lower back.
Went low.
They're hugging the lower back, which means you ain't friends.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't friends.
I think I love where this
lower
is
back,
going.
okay?
This is a twist.
All of a sudden they're holding each other and they just hold for a second, right?
Okay.
Don't move. And then they do that thing where like you pull your head back and you're like, you're nose to nose and you're like, who's gonna make this move? Who's gonna make this move? Next thing you know, Mr. Feather goes, you. And all of a sudden they make out, right? Undercover Brother, Mr. Feather. The man's helicopter is here. So the man sees it, all right? The man's like, oh no, they've won. Next thing you know, they have sex on this helipad, okay?
Next thing you know, they have sex.
They have sex on this helipad. The man is watching. All right, the chief
The
comes
man
in.
just starts watching
The
it.
man
The
watches.
helicopter,
Doesn't
I'm not
even
done.
have any
the helicopter
privacy.
is circling,
No,
just
no,
watching
the
this
helicopter
happen.
just floats. The helicopter just floats. The helicopter's floating. Next thing you know, the Brotherhood comes up. The Brotherhood sees it, and they're like, he did it. He busted a nut for all of us. And you know what that did? You know what that orgasm of those?
bust
Wait, hold
a
on. Let me
nut?
finish. There's one more piece.
For
There's more
all
piece.
of us.
There's more piece. My man, that union ends racism, y'all.
Hey, man, what the fuck are you talking about?
That union just ended racism.
Look, I think that's funny. To be honest, if
That's real.
if the whole movie was about like black, just being black, and then right at the end it was like, and also being gay is okay. I think that would be fucking crazy.
Listen, man, you
That would
Also being gay is okay.
That would have been crazy. Wow.
That would have been really crazy.
I actually really appreciate that.
Yeah, no,
everything.
that was great. That was a.
I mean, but then you also
it
had
is-
one with
I-
Denise Richards too.
I
though.
do think it's interesting
You don't want
that
that.
because I didn't even notice that they didn't kiss, but I think maybe it's
They didn't, yeah. and
I
they-
think maybe it's just to, like, I think they were saving it for the main, for Sister Girl.
I mean, my thing is, I totally get that, but my thing is, if you're gonna make a point to be like, this is a black man's kryptonite or whatever, and it is a thing in real life of like, you know, black. This is the thing, man. We come from a culture where like people were killed for winking at white women back in the day.
Yeah.
So you're gonna touch on this topic, right? Then just do it. They did. They went hard on everything else.
Yeah, they went hard.
What
Yeah.
is that?
They even referenced that he was like, oh, sometimes you just have to go undercover, blah, blah, and taste the,
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you know, he says,
they made like
no
a-
matter how good it felt, do things no matter how good
yeah,
it felt.
no matter how good it felt.
Yeah.
And they're like, because like he had sex with her.
I
Yeah.
wonder,
I mean, they just didn't
but
show
I
it.
wonder if there's an element in it of like we're trying to portray this message, but I still
We don't wanna
hired this
see it.
really hot white lady so I could like be in a scene. Like I don't know, there's
I
something.
mean, I think the man
It's
got a
weird.
hold of this movie, and the man was like, y'all can make this movie, but y'all ain't making that movie. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have you guys
Ah,
seen
good.
Pootie Tang?
Oh, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Shout out to you.
Pootie.
You know
There
what
were
I'm
moments in this where I was like,
saying? Shout out to you.
I was like, it seemed like it was a similar inspiration, like
Yeah.
just the world they were trying to play in, but drastically different movies. Like
True.
Pootie Tang was like surreal and weird, and this was like so written. Like the point at the end where he like floats to the bottom in his like
Oh, in his bell-bottom
bell-bottoms.
parachute. Oh.
To me, that is just like this is. I could have written this movie.
Well, can I tell you the best written line? James just wrote it down in his notes. What reminded me is that who says it? Someone in this movie
So wait,
goes,
so it's the beginning. It's the
Yeah, you
beginning
said
when Eddie Griffin first finds out about the Brotherhood, and they're like, "Wait, so the man is real? Everything we've been talking about is real?" And he like goes through all the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
he's like, so and after everything, they're like, yeah, and then he's like,
like-
so
yeah.
OJ really did it, and they're like, Okay, all right.
It's
like,
They're like, yeah, so
OJ
OJ
didn't do it.
Really
Yeah.
didn't do it. Really
and
didn't
they're
do
like,
it.
yeah.
and they just walk away. Like,
There were jokes in the movie that captured my experience. Like that is one of my experiences of like I'm a total OJ apologist. Like not that like I think he didn't do it, but like man, growing up I was just like we got to watch the case. You got to pay attention.
Yeah,
because like I don't know why, but like there are moments in the movie that like I was like, man, they really captured my experience. Like the mayonnaise part and that part.
I know,
and,
man.
like, and so
Beautiful.
so that's where I look at this movie and I'm like, oh, this is a really dope movie. And I do wish that like Eddie Griffin had more. Because okay, so are y'all watching The Get Down on Netflix?
I watched
no,
it. I
wait,
watched
knew
it.
this
We're not going to talk about it at all.
I watched.
We're not going to talk about the plot at all.
James, I want to tell you about this one part.
No. But I'll say that it's a movie that's like stylized, highly stylized in the same way. And I'm watching it, and watching this last night, I was like, man, Eddie Griffin would have been great as a character in this. Because everyone's playing big in a way. They're playing big in a way, but
That's
it's just
true.
they have good direction and like there's a good story. So like, I think Eddie Griffin
I think the
could.
direction of this movie was
yeah,
good.
no, this is Malcolm Lee.
No,
Yeah.
I think the direction is good. I just think that like. I don't know. Like there are parts of it that
But
are
yeah,
a
it's
little
very-
dated in how broad
it's
it
definitely
is.
very broad. I think we have some time for some questions,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh, so wait. So how do we do it? It's the you got to
But wait,
answer.
but hold up. Actually, before we start,
We got people we want to ask
Before we get
questions.
into the questions, I just want to just real quick. Just
Okay,
ask
yeah,
y'all
what?
something. Have y'all seen this movie Meet Dave?
Meet Dave. What is that?
Yeah, Meet Dave.
Dave.
What is that?
It's that Eddie Murphy movie where it's like a space alien. He's like a bunch of little space aliens inside. But he was kind of like
Wait, what movie is this?
yeah, Meet Dave. He's kind of like an undercover brother in that.
James.
Because he's like
James, come on,
undercover. Like they don't know that he's an alien.
James, we in public.
People
James
don't
third.
know that he's an alien, so he's like undercover.
James, we in public.
James?
Oh,
Y'all seen it?
is that the one where like he's like tiny in somebody's head?
He's like tiny inside of his own.
Oh,
head.
that's real.
James, I don't know why you watched that movie.
It's.
You
I
saw
just
that,
wanna know,
but you
is
didn't
it
see
good?
Undercover Brother?
Is it good?
Wait, is this
No one knows
Osmosis
what it
Jones?
is.
No.
Hold up, man. I'm confused because I don't know what's
Moses
what.
Jones. Oh my God. Okay, so yes,
it's
we're gonna
rules.
take some questions real quick. But to ask a question or to make a comment or whatever, you gotta either
A, you gotta put a swirl in this movie, give us your own swirl.
Mm-hmm.
B, tell us whether it's help the cause or not.
Yeah, so full black fist if it helped
Yeah.
the cause, white palm if it was so or nothing.
And then C.
That's it.
No, because James
Just
had
sort
one.
of tell us what your thoughts are on Meet Dave.
Great.
Okay.
Shit is
just-
hard as hell to answer
any of those three things.
Does anybody want to ask a question? Anybody have any
you might have to
or
come
a
close.
comment that they want to talk about of Undercover?
Yeah, you might have to
Has
Cover
anyone
Brother?
who saw this movie recently?
Nobody.
Nobody.
No, we got
We got a question right there.
Over there. Are you going out?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go out. You might have to come a little close. You mind coming to this corner? I'm scared it might not go that
Man,
far.
you're making it hard as hell to ask a
Yeah,
question.
damn.
I wanted to be
No,
I wanted to be
everyone's
a
like,
team.
we're good.
Damn,
we're
Jerah.
good.
My name is Megan.
Hey, Megan, how
Hey,
you
Megan.
Maybe a swirl with like Soul Sister and Neil Patrick Harris.
doing? Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, hold up, man.
That one-
Hold on.
Hey, no.
Hold on. I'm gonna say that under we don't shine enough of a light on like black women that want to date white dudes.
Yeah,
like
man.
they're out there. I know a lot
All
of them.
right. All right.
And like
got
we
some hand
make it
claps in the
normal.
audience.
We make it normal, but then it's like weird. Come on, man. It's not weird. Sister girl gotta get some of that
Right,
Neil
so
Patrick
I'm not
bad.
Harris.
talking on mic, so
Well, he could like join in the foursome at the end.
All right,
Oh,
maybe.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
You know, you get some colors.
or just a yeah.
I guess my question while my boyfriend and I watched this movie last night was, is Billy D. Williams a good actor?
Ooh.
That is a great
Is
question.
Billy D.
Okay, but
Williams a
it-
good actor?
So here's the thing: is
It's Billy D.
he is kind of playing.
That's a great question.
That's a great question because
Is
in
he?
this movie
Oh,
he's
no, you
playing
didn't.
like a Manchurian candidate for most of it.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the only line he has at the end is like where he's like, "Wait a minute, what happened?" That's
Yeah.
like the only line he has. That's
otherwise,
not,
it's just him like being like, "It's some good fried
yeah.
chicken."
Now-
I kind of think he is
Yeah.
though.
I mean, you
I
can't.
gotta say
Is the question? Wait, now is
Oh,
the
wait.
question? Is he a good actor in this movie, or is Billy D. Williams
Or just in general?
Oh, because he isn't Ladies' Man, right?
slightly both? She said.
It's delivered in
yeah,
a weird
that
way.
last line is pretty.
Hey, man,
terrible.
don't do that to Billy D. He didn't talk for most of the movie, man.
Yeah.
He was rusty. That's
But
all.
wait, he's good in Ladies'
a little
Man, right?
rusty.
Isn't
a
he
little
the?
rusty.
Isn't he one of the main dudes in Ladies' Man?
He does get cheated
Yeah.
on. Like, he has the young wife in Ladies Man.
He's great in Ladies' Man.
I mean, look,
Billy D. He's
Lando-
the bartender, right?
He's
Yeah.
Lando Calrissian.
He's Lando
baby.
Calrissian.
He
I mean,
also was in, was it Ladies Sings the Blues? Like, I mean,
I'll
Look
say
at
this.
He also was
And
in
he's-
Star Wars.
And
Yeah, but I
cool.
won't. But hold on.
He's so
We can't
cool.
say because you were in Star Wars, you were a good actor.
Yes,
That's
you
true.
can.
There's some
John
whack
loves-
ass acting
John
in Star Wars, dog.
They love Star Wars. Don't start
I
this
love
fight.
it. Listen,
Don't
I
start
love
this
it.
fight.
I love it. The acting in Star Wars is
is-
terrible.
It's great.
In the first one, those dudes learned how to. I don't want to get into it.
Right.
But they learned how
But
to act on those
Billy D
movies.
didn't come until Empire Strikes Back. So
I will
that's
say
true.
in this
true.
movie,
You know what I'm saying?
I will just say my answer is in this movie I loved him. I thought he was great. I thought he was real cool.
He was my
real
favorite
funny.
part.
My answer is I'm upset with you for making me question, is Billy D good? Because now I don't know.
Oh no!
No.
Watch
But
Ladies
between-
Man.
but
Watch
between-
Ladies Man. He's great.
All right.
He's great in
But
Ladies Man.
between freaking like Star Wars until now, I was like, when was Billy D?
Do we? Is there another?
Another
Anybody else have a
question?
comment or a
You
question?
got one in the back?
Is he here?
Come on up.
Yeah,
Is
come on.
he here?
Billy D. Williams is here.
Yeah, no, Billy D.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
He
For
is.
whatever reason at the
Is
last.
Billy D. Williams here? Okay.
Wow.
What's up, brother?
What's up, bro?
I think I have two comments, if that's cool.
You know how to start it
Yeah.
off though. What you got first?
All right, what was that?
How you feel about Meet Dave?
Oh, okay. That's what I was about to say. I think it was cool that Kevin Hart was in. It was like he's beginning again after like Soul Plane, so it was like rebuilding him.
Oh,
So-
Kevin Hart was in it? I didn't know
all
Kevin
right.
Hart
It
was
was
in
like
it.
it was
Thank
like
you.
he was like a little plan, and he was like growing again.
Can I ask you? Did you? So you watched Meet Dave?
I don't remember it.
I just know who was in it.
I just remember he was like in the pool. He's like, "Can I get some hot sauce?"
I remember the
Thank you. See, there
IMDb
it is.
page.
He was in the
Yeah.
movie asking for hot sauce.
No, he was like
Hey,
tiny.
you're
and he was,
allowed
like,
to
in-
ask for
he
hot
was, like-
sauce if you
he was,
want
like,
some
in a
hot
cup,
sauce.
And he was like, "Can I get some hot sauce or something like that?"
Yeah, all right, thank you.
And then two comments. Like one thing was that you guys were talking about the shark, and I was thinking like maybe it could be a great white shark, and he's like eating him.
It's
I
a
don't know.
great white
Oh, great
shark.
white shark.
And
Okay.
he was trying to wait.
See, no, I don't like.
But
that,
wait,
though.
because because that's exactly what it is. Because he was trying to get help from the man,
Yeah.
who was not helping him, and then a great white shark eats him. Like it was like white people imploding in on themselves.
It should have been a black bear that just was swimming, and the bear just grabbed him.
Should have been a swimming black bear.
It would have been so funny if a black bear was just like, "You
It
motherfucker."
should have been a bear.
No, if the
had
shark
that
ate
line.
him, if the shark ate him, and then the black bear's like, "Not on my watch, motherfucker." But eat that shit. Yeah.
And the other comment was that you were talking about how like there wasn't a kiss with Undercover Brother and White Sheeta. Well, there, even like in the fantasy scene with Sister Girl and White Sheeta, like the lesbian scene, there wasn't that either. So,
Yeah.
So like even
That was a weird ass.
like, even in the
yeah.
fantasy,
Kiss,
there
though?
wasn't
They
a
didn't. They
kiss.
got close, but
Yeah,
they didn't
but
kiss.
They didn't
except for the
kiss?
Punch, yeah, they didn't kiss.
Oh, she woke up and punched her.
So it's even like a fantasy then, like even in your fantasy, there's not
Oh.
the kissing. So that's my comment on that.
Wow.
Damn. Maybe
Oh, yeah,
they just. All
appreciate it.
right,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah, man.
Wow, that's
did
true.
forget about that
they
part.
came like right. Yes, I remember now because they were watching. I was like, this is kind of hot. And then, and then they came so close, and then it cut right before they kissed, just like in Hancock.
All
Well,
right.
Hancock instead
Yeah,
of like
don't bring up Hancock.
Instead of
I remember-
Hancock,
Because we ain't got a lot of time. We got the light, okay? We don't got a lot of time. We can't
Okay.
talk about
Oh, we have a
Hancock.
time for another. Does anybody else? Yeah, we got another one here. Let me.
Hey man, don't ask no questions about Billy D. Williams, bro.
How you feel
Damn,
about
man.
that?
Somebody got Billy D.
I'm Steven.
Hey, Steve.
Steven, hello.
The most interesting part about Meet Dave to me is the fact that
Why are you picking me, Dave?
Eddie Murphy, Big Eddie Murphy, is a spaceship
Yes.
that these aliens are
in. Yeah, no, it's great. And then there's
And
a small Eddie Murphy
is-
inside.
yeah, he's the captain of
What do
the
you-
spaceship
Yes.
that is shaped like him.
So
Yeah.
they had to be
Wait,
like,
what?
build me a spaceship that looks like me
Yeah.
1,000 times bigger. Man,
And
I
then-
know what you're talking about. I watched that movie.
Wait, are
all the
y'all
time.
serious?
Yes, that's what the movie's about. Thank you. It is very interesting that
Wait.
the
fascinating.
race, the whole, but don't they all look that way? Don't they all? It's a bunch of Eddie Murphys, right? Or is it just
no,
one?
it's
little,
just one
just
Eddie
one
Murphy,
little Eddie Murphy,
and then there's like Steve
and then
Zahn,
it's Steve Zahn. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool.
What?
Yeah, but no,
Hold
but
on,
that
wait,
is
sorry.
Go ahead, ask your question, man.
So, I guess the comment, I just want to see what you guys. So, this movie was written by John Ridley, who wrote 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah, that's what I.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he co-wrote it with a white guy, and it was like based on in the credits it's called an internet series.
that's
Yeah.
what I
It is.
saw, too, yeah.
Smart Brother was Undercover Brother in the cartoon.
Okay.
So Smart Brother was Undercover.
It was a cartoon.
Yeah, it was like a short, like internet cartoon. So the voice of Undercover Brother was a big dude.
Dope.
And how do you see that as part of John Ridley's like career trajectory?
That's what I thought. Because I looked it up and I was like, that guy, that name looks familiar. And I was like, what's his other credit? 12 Years a Slave. I was like, he's made a lot of points about race in many different movies.
Yeah, and he also has that show, The American he has a what is that? American Crime. He has
Yeah.
that show too. So I
Yeah.
guess he is talking about race in every.
Honestly, I know we were like ragging on the movie for its broad strokes in comedy, but like it did have so many
Really, the
smart,
only thing-
really smart like social
It's
commentary.
great. The only thing I'm ragging on is just how dated it feels.
Yes. It was very dated.
It's just
it's true.
dated. But the messages and the initial premise of it to me is brilliant. And like they do a lot. Like I think they could have done a better job of maybe delivering on that premise. But that's probably what they were like. Well, we'll do a bunch of these movies. You know what I mean? Because it is like an unlimited premise. Like the man is everywhere and like. Sorry to tell y'all, but it's true. Like, the man is everywhere.
Sorry to let you guys.
But,
Sorry
like,
to
this
inform
is like
you that
one.
the man
This is
exists.
one tiny. The storyline of like whitewashing America is one tiny storyline that they could have used. Like to me, I was like, and look, I like being on this podcast, but like I don't like movies at all. Like I think movies are bad. Like generally,
Hey, man,
everything
you in
that's
Hollywood
a movie.
right now.
Yeah, wait, what?
I know.
You
I think
moved to
generally
Hollywood.
anything that's a movie would be a better TV show.
I
So I like think about this, and I'm like, this would be an amazing TV
That's
show.
'cause
That's
this-
that Black Dynamite, though.
That's because
right?
he write on TV. That's
Well,
why.
yeah,
He is one
because
of them TV
TV is
writers.
what's
Yeah.
paying me. But like, I don't get invested in a lot of movies. But like, this would be a great TV show. Like, it's a perfect
Yeah.
setup for like, if this is a pilot, I'd watch this fucking crazy ass show every week.
Hey, Diston, I love how you waited till the end of the podcast to be like, yeah, so I don't even like movies. Like, just
I mean, I do like,
Oh,
like
you like-
there are movies that I like, but like the percentage of movies I go see in theaters where I'm like, yo, that was tight, is very low compared to the amount of good TV there
Right,
is.
right.
But that's probably just me being jaded. If I was like James, I feel like you have it good because you could go see any movie in theaters and love it.
And I love it.
It's
It's
true.
true.
I don't have that luxury. I feel
Yeah.
like kind of
It's
annoyed
true.
by it.
All right,
It's true.
It's time for the cause.
Right.
All right, here we go. For those of you who don't know, we rate films not based on how much we like them, but whether or not they help the cause of more leading black actors in Hollywood. So we give it either a black fist, meaning fully help the cause, a white palm, so-so, or nothing. You guys ready? On the count of three.
Wait, you gonna go 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3.
Oh man.
What did I just
Say
say?
that one more time. I was not paying
See,
attention.
exactly. See, thank you.
Black fist?
Yeah.
Meaning help the cause. White palm, so-so, nothing.
Okay.
On the count of three, we're going to throw it up.
Oh wait, you going 1, 2, 3, or 3, 2, 1?
Hold on. I gotta think about it, man. This is a tough one.
All right. I'll give you a
Because the
second.
whole movie is about the cause.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's true.
Hope it, John. Seriously, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2.
All right, it's going to be 3, 2, 1.
Okay,
right?
got you.
All right,
And you gonna go on 3. I'm sorry, you gonna go on 1. Never mind. I figured it out.
Let's start the podcast
I figured it
over.
out. I figured it out. I figured it out.
All right, here we go.
yeah.
I'm going to close my eyes because I'm scared.
Wait. Okay. All right. Yeah. I am too.
I'm scared
All right.
too. All right.
3, 2, 1. Oh, whoa!
Wait, what does this mean? Nothing. Right?
Nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
I don't think it
Yeah.
did shit.
Oh, snap!
Oh wow, go first.
All right.
Diston,
Time out.
go
Time
first.
out.
Why is
Wait.
Diston going first? He should
No,
go
I don't
last.
think he should go first.
I'll
So what did
start.
it get? What did it get?
All right,
A
James
fist?
gonna start.
I'll
Okay,
start.
so we got James gave it a black fist. Me and Jerah gave it a white palm. And
I gave it
damn,
nothing.
you gave it nothing.
I'll tell you why.
Now,
Okay,
no,
okay,
no.
okay.
Now, so first of all,
Oh,
Neil
man.
Patrick Harris is the biggest star in the movie.
Yeah.
So,
Not at the time. Not at the time.
Not
though.
at the time.
Not at the
no,
time.
but
though.
what I mean, but exactly. We're talking about what this movie did, right? Now, granted, I gave it a fist, but that so I was almost going to give it a palm for A, that reason, and B, because it is so race driven and race heavy that that may have been something that deterred people. But I cannot give a movie a palm that where the main guy is almost like a superhero, carries a fist a medallion around his neck the whole movie, where just the movie is kind of just celebrating. It celebrates so much that's what, and because it's populated with black actors. Those two reasons together are why I gave this movie a fist. It was hard though because of those first two things that I said. Okay. That's
cool.
it.
You want me to go? Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Damn. I gave this a white palm. I feel bad about it. I do.
too.
But because the movie's so. Because here's the thing I will say is I really did love this movie when I was growing up, and it really was because I love those kind of comedies, and I don't think I was even allowed to watch I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. I think that was a rated R, and there's a lot of black driven comedies that were rated R. I remember Jamie Foxx films like Booty Call and stuff like that.
Hollywood Shuffle was good too. That was an old movie.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah.
But House, even I think the house parties were rated. Maybe not.
I think they
Right?
The
They
first one
say
was
one
rated
of
R.
the
The first
things
one
is-
was rated R.
Yeah, it was rated R, right?
Both of them,
Like,
both
so,
of them.
like, there are a lot of movies that, like, I just wasn't allowed to watch. Like, my parents didn't let me watch rated R films. And so, all the broad comedies that I saw were, like, all white. It was just, like, and there was the token black guy. And so, like, when I saw this film, it was, like, I felt, and I'm telling you, man, that I'm not even that joking about the mayonnaise moment. Like, it really was, like, this, like, whoa.
I feel the same way.
You know what I
you know,
mean?
in
Like,
a way.
and, like, Smart Brother was so cool, and Dave Chappelle's character was so cool. Like, and I just... And watching it today, like, I was like, man, this movie was really smart. I didn't even realize how much, like, great satire was in it. At the same time, though, like, you know, I don't know. What did it help? Like, Eddie Griffin's career, like, this was the pinnacle of it. Like, he went downhill from there for no reason. Like, he was great. He was great in this, but whatever. Yeah. This movie didn't get the sequel that it clearly wanted. Like, you know, it didn't spawn more films like this, I feel like. Like, Black Dynamite was great, but that came out mad later, and it wasn't even
totally different.
Totally different, but also like the amount of theaters that was released in was very few. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. Like it feels like it didn't really help, even though it should have. Like I think the movie created was great, but I think the response from Hollywood was kind of like, you didn't make that much money, so whatever. You know what I mean?
I mean, I gave it a palm. Because I thought the movie was fun. I thought it was good, but I had a couple problems. Like I didn't like that. I felt like a little bit that they made fun of Smart Brother a little bit, which I wasn't cool with for some reason. I wanted, even talking to you guys now and thinking about the movie, I loved seeing Sister Girl with that afro for some reason. I was like, it just felt so empowering. She had the gun. And I guess it wasn't like black exploitation for me, but it's like I wanted her to have more because, like Diston kind of said, she started off as this powerful character, but then she became like the love interest and then almost jealous of White She-Devil. And at the end, like she was looking at Undercover Brother with like googly eyes the whole time.
Yeah, it was weird.
And I was like, no, like she is clearly better than him at everything.
And she wasn't looking at him that way in the beginning.
And she was right about it. At the very beginning, she was like, he doesn't belong here. Why is he here? Is it just because he's a man?
Right.
I mean, she literally says it. And this movie could have been about her. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I just feel like it was a missed opportunity to explore just like what she's like in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved the fact that they both were like, they had a relationship. It just felt forced. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then didn't like that you didn't see him even really like get a hug. I mean, he got a hug after she killed him. It's like the White She-Devil thing just pissed me the fuck off for some reason. I didn't like that. I think Chris Kattan, they could have did it, man. They could have had that swirl between Undercover Brother and Chris Kattan.
They were never going to write
What?
They were never going to
I'm saying they could have did
Back
it.
then, probably not. Maybe now.
It could have been.
No,
I don't like the Undercover Brother. Didn't kill the big bad. If the big bad was Chris Kattan, he didn't kill Chris Kattan. He didn't even injure the man. You didn't even
Because they were setting up for a sequel.
This is my thing. If this was a Bond movie, right? This is a Bond movie. We would have seen Bond get close to the man, right? And he wouldn't have killed him. He wouldn't have shot him. But he would have been close enough to be like to put a little bit of fear in him. Undercover Brother was nowhere near the man. The man's looking at him laughing like, and then said some racist hip hop shit, and then flew off in a helicopter as Undercover Brother jumped off a. Undercover Brother saved himself with bell-bottom pants.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It's like
it was cool. He looked cool while he was doing it, though.
Because he did pat his throat, but his throat was missing a little chunk, so I didn't like it.
Wait. Go ahead.
No, but then also, too, it's like James said, like Neil Patrick Harris is the most famous person to come out of this movie. Like he was at this point, he was kind of a joke. Like he wasn't like popping yet. And it's like this movie proves that, like, yo, what
Dave
else
Chappelle.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle is like, what do you do?
Well,
like, what do you do?
I'll say this about that part of it. Like, Dave Chappelle maybe could have been a bigger star.
I think he was a bigger star.
But I think he was
immediately following.
I think he was, and I think like was on pace to be even bigger. But I think he ran into a lot of issues that came up in this movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Sort of, I was watching that movie, sort of watching Dave Chappelle being like, wow, he's doing this movie about a thing that he will later be experiencing for real.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was interesting. The reason I gave this movie nothing was because of all the shit you guys just said. Like, it does so much good, and then it's also like, this movie was not that. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many problems with it, but then there's so much cool stuff. Ultimately, if it made this one writer go on to write 12 Years a Slave, then this movie was worth it, right? Because that movie is incredible. But, like, the thing that I look at this movie, I'm like, all right, first of all, if I want to make this movie better, I wouldn't have made his character like so comedic. Like, I'd have made him cooler. He was a little bit too much of a, like, fuck-up.
You're talking about Eddie Griffin, yeah.
He fucked up too much, in my opinion. He needs to be cooler. Eddie Griffin needed to almost be a side character, in my opinion.
I agree.
And, like, then we could take the whole idea of this more seriously. It was just a little too undercut by that comedy. But, like, in the end, it's like the premise of it, just describing the premise in my head, I'm like, I'm glad they made that movie.
Right.
And they employed a lot of black people, but... You know, where
your sequel should be the Sister Girl movie.
I really wanted to make a small comment about the. I just realized this as you were talking about the Sister Girl was like in that scene when they were both getting their hair wet and supposed to be like ripping each other's clothes off and all sexy. I don't know if you caught this, but like Denise Richards has like a moment where she like her hair is all wet and she like flicks her hair back and it's supposed to be like, look at this beautiful hair, and they like never do that with Sister Girl. And I was like, and I remember just like, whoa, that's actually like, you know what I mean? Like they gave a little bit more of the glamour shot to her, and it wasn't like. You know what I mean? Like they weren't like, "Hey, this Sister Girl is also beautiful. She can have like a little hair shake." You know what I mean?
To me, it was like
have a hair shake.
To me, it was like when it was written, it was like, "We got this message, and this is what we're gonna do." And then you give it to this like director, and then the director's doing, it, and then the DP's like, "What if we got a couple more shots of Denise Richards?" And the whole thing gets watered down.
Right? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But all right, well, that's what I got. I got a one black fist, 2 white palms, and nothing. All right. Well, cool, man. Thank you for coming, Shaun.
Yeah,
thank you guys for coming.
Thanks for hanging out, yo. Yes.
Where can people?
You could just follow me on Twitter at Shaun Diston. That's it.
At Shaun Diston.
Yeah.
Dope.
That's it.
Boom. And I don't know. We don't have anything. Just for the people here, this isn't going to be for the podcast. But if you guys are free on Monday night at 10:30, we're going to be at UCB Sunset doing an improv show called Astronomy Club. Let's talk about race.
No, you forgot the part.
Okay. Let's talk about race, baby.
That's how it's written. That's how it's written.
Yeah. Okay, wow. That's going to be 10:30 on Monday at UCB Sunset. And then on Tuesday, we're doing a sketch show called A Journey Through Black History. That's going to be at UCB Franklin.
Yeah, and I saw this show. All right, shut the fuck up. I saw this show last week, and guys, this is one of the best sketch shows I've ever seen. It was so good. If we could give a black fist to that sketch show, I mean, it's incredible. So if you're around, go check that out.
Thank you.
All
right, cool. Thank you guys for coming out. We'll chill, hang out. All right, peace.
All right, it's time for some plugs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just excited. I was trying to be excited.
Yeah. So let's see. We have a show.
Oh, that's
September
right.
27th.
At 8 p.m. 9:30 p.m.
9:30 p.m. at
terrible.
UCB East Astronomy Club. It's going to be a Comedy Central showcase, comics to watch, something like that. Also, we're going to be performing with Astronomy Club Friday, September 30th at
the Harlem
Comedy Festival.
Yep, Harlem Comedy Festival.
I believe that's at 6 p.m. And you can go to blackmanpodcast.com to check out just pictures and stuff like that. At Blackman Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow me at John Braylock on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. JohnBraylock.com for some shows and videos and blah, 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 blah. And that's about it for me.
Yeah, man. You can follow me at Jerah Milligan on Twitter and Instagram. And, we love when y'all comment and ask us questions if you get pissed off at something. I guess one of us says, I say, please call me out on it.
Yeah. Also, if you have
honestly, please call us out on it. We need it.
Please.
Keep us in check, really.
They do.
I know, yeah. But I love every time it happens. Because it's cool to talk to people, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you can check out MTV News for random stuff there. And yeah.
Oh, and pester John Boyega to come on our podcast.
Yes,
yeah, please pester, because he's posted something like
he said
what are the podcasts? I want to do podcasts.
He got approved to do podcasts to promote Star Wars.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so we got to get him on. Share the Star Wars episode.
Yeah, that's what you should do. Get the Star Wars episode link, put it in your tweet, and tweet at him and be like, "Hey, man, you got to get on this podcast. They've been promoting you from the jump."
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
or the Attack the Block.
Yeah. Literally
Share
any one of those. In fact, choose either one of those and to post it to him. And then if you do one, then do the other, and then repeat. Go back.
Rinse and repeat.
Okay. You can follow me, James Third Comedy. Third is 3RD. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, jamesthirdcomedy.com. You can also find me at funnyordie.com/JamesThirdComedy. Third is 3RD there as well. You know what I mean? Give me some funny votes. Give me some.
How your votes going recently?
I'm pretty good. I'm not like, it's kind of like 50-50.
What about that's the
my Cosby video. So I released a video with Bill Cosby. It's called Bill Cosby's Sorry. So search for that. Give that funny votes also on Funny or Die.
It's a funny video. It's a funny, and you know I don't like supporting James III, but I would tell you that's a funny video.
That's unnecessary.
I support you, James.
Thank you. That sounded very forced.
I know it did. That
sounded extremely forced.
I'm running for president. And next week we will be reviewing the film Lethal Weapon.
Yes.
Co-starring Danny Glover
and Mel Gibson.
I almost said Donald because he might be in the new Star Wars movie.
Yeah, apparently he's Lando Calrissian.
Yeah. But sorry, Danny Glover and Mel Gibson, Lethal Weapon, and we have a special guest, Jonathan Fernandez.
Yes, who is one of our boys from UCB who happens to be on the Lethal Weapon TV show.
Yes.
New Lethal Weapon TV show with Damon Wayans.
Yep.
So listen to that. Watch it. It's on Netflix. And we will see you next week. Peace.
That was a HeadGum podcast.